something.
No, it's basically World Championships of Tag, basically, but it's done with people who do parkour.
Oh.
So they have like, I think it's like a 10 meter by 10 meter arena with frames and shit set up, and they've got like 20-second matches for each round. So it's just the fact that they're only 20 seconds.
They gotta go parkour.
There have been a few people that have misjudged their jump and just gone head first into the poles. It's hilarious.
That's why I don't do that.
Fun.
Yeah, there's been
like
quite.
NASCAR's not interesting until somebody crashes.
Yeah, there has been more than a few injuries on their end. That's probably why I like watching it.
They signed a waiver. They're fine.
Mm-hmm.
They're fine. Yes, just because they signed a waiver, they're fine. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dragon, Hall, Val, Perplexed. I saw you in there. Wolf, we have Ares here, and Wolf, Jax is muted because he's playing a game.
Jax is here? Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't even paying attention.
Well, I've been talking this entire time. I didn't realize I was muted.
Oh, hi, Jax.
Damn it, Carsey.
Welcome to the podcast, Jax.
he's been talking to
The entire
himself
time he
over
just
there.
just ignoring him.
I thought that. I was like, okay, I guess they're just ignoring me again.
No.
No, you just had yourself muted again. It's really easy to ignore you whenever you mute yourself. Like, you make it so easy.
Oh
damn.
my goodness.
It'd be
like
so
the
nice if
people
some
on the-
people did have a mute button.
Oh, Dragon. Just like the people on the Titan sub.
Oh, well, yeah, they muted themselves permanently.
Pretty quick, too.
I don't actually know how long it took.
Hey guys, just so everyone knows, Rawg is from Pennsylvania.
Ah, it took you long enough.
I guessed that before, mister. Okay, here's first topic. Okay, is the omitting something like that, telling someone it, even though you're basically on the subject, but is lying by omission a thing? Because I believe it is.
No, that's literally why it's called omission and not lying.
Lying
It's
by
literally
omission.
called omission.
Lying by omission.
That's different. What Rog did, he didn't say no, he didn't say yes, he just carried on with the conversation.
No,
Yeah.
it was lying by omission.
No,
I
it
said,
No.
oh, so you're from Pennsylvania.
Withholding information isn't lying.
Thank you.
Lying is saying something that isn't true. He didn't
Okay,
say anything,
so
therefore.
to everybody listening, this was the scenario. So I sent her a screenshot of this one chick that was talking to me or whatever from this dating site, and she saw where the chick was from, and she's like, "Oh, so judging by your dating like app thing and the people that are or this person that was talking to you or whatever, judging by that, you're probably from Pennsylvania." And I said, well, I wouldn't necessarily go by that because I literally got a chick hitting me up from your state, referring to her state. I never lied.
But see,
I just said Facebook
told me-
was very unreliable for giving that information.
But see, you also told me that if I guessed right, you would tell me. And I guessed.
Yeah, and that was the one time he didn't say
no. I also never said that. That's what you said.
And I'm pretty sure I told you at that same time that even if you got it right, he would he would say no.
Yes,
or...
you did.
So yes, Ares did say that, but I never said I would tell you if you got it right or not.
Yes, you did.
You said that.
No, you did.
I
said he didn't.
Yes, he did.
I never did, Death.
Oh my god.
Rebel.
Death. There's a reason that
I
people
don't trust you anymore.
There's a reason that like in like RTSs where we're all on different sides, that the people that have played with me and know me well enough know to be very careful whenever they make a deal with me, because I never lie to them. I never stab them in the back. I'm just very particular with how I make deals with them.
Yeah, which is what I was about to say. Like, if you've listened to whatever Rog said, he has never lied. He may sidestep information. He may
Exactly.
He may leave out bits and pieces, but he will not lie to you. The only time he may talk out of his arse is if someone like Scaly is irritating him, and he might just say something to shut him up.
Or like, yeah, or I'll say some wild shit like, "Hey man, Bigfoot's out on the hunt. He's got his pack of condoms. He's ready to start fucking or whatever." Like I'll say some wild shit like that nobody believes because
Or
it's
like-
so absurd. But
Yeah, you
Or
say
Ares
that.
apparently got his dick stuck in a toaster again.
okay, I did say that, yeah. But
Yeah.
I said he probably got his dick stuck in a toaster again, and everybody was like, "What again?" And I was like, "Yeah, probably. I don't know. Like,
I was trying
I'm
to
not
charge the
fucking over
batteries.
there."
With your tool.
Yeah, trying to change the batteries in his toaster.
Yeah, I'm making a spin-off product called the Crankmaster.
Oh, we added a toaster to the Crankmaster?
No, that's the Wank
No,
Master.
you can
thinking of.
charge the toaster with the Crankmaster.
Oh,
Wank
You don't need to plug it
Master.
in.
that's what I was doing wrong.
Wankmaster, yeah.
He got his dick stuck in a toaster too. Listen to that.
Okay, what's everyone drinking tonight?
Vodka.
Soda.
Mountain Dew.
Blood.
Aries,
The usual shit.
cider.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
It is now that time where I have apple cider and fireball, which I already downed one. I need to go make myself another one.
Oops.
Okay,
And
Well-
and then there's me with G Fuel.
G Fuel, what's that?
Gamer.
It's an energy
Why?
drink. I
Why?
need caffeine.
It's not very
and
good
it was
either.
cheap.
Because he needs jet fuel.
Well,
So he can go vroom vroom.
Just drink
Mhm.
jet fuel then. Don't drink
This
G
point
I
has
Fuel.
been
have to be up
proven
late tonight.
multiple times. Anything that is heavily
Hi,
endorsed
Jax.
by YouTubers or Twitch streamers is generally a fucking terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. I'm still young. I have time to make more bad choices.
That's
Hasselwolf.
true.
They make a
He
better
is-
bad
he-
choice
he-
and switch to
he's-
Monster.
He's a baby. Switch to Monster. I prefer Red Bull. Like Red Bull has all these different flavors.
Yeah, but so does Monster.
Yeah, now.
And the
But
can.
I
They've had them for
I-
years, and the can's like twice the size for either the same or half the price.
I still haven't found a Monster one that I like yet.
Then you gotta,
Then you haven't tried
whenever you're
Mango.
referring to that, gotta like look at the quality.
No, I have not tried the mango one.
I'm right here. The monster one.
The Monster one. You sell
Yeah.
Monster stuff too?
Oh, I thought we were talking about something else.
Oh
no,
no.
Monster sucks. I don't like any
I-
of those things. They all taste bad.
I
Rockstar, Monster,
Oh,
Nos.
Rockstar is fucking rancid.
Let's see. I drink Red Bull Blueberry. Let's see.
Wait. Are you rocking a little spring dress?
I am.
Huh?
What did my dog just do?
I don't know. You better go check
Probably
on him.
shit in the floor.
Oh, it's my cat. What the fuck, cat? What are you doing?
Probably shitting in
Your
the
dog
floor.
is doing your cat? That's kind of weird.
It's
You're
weird.
saying
While
dogs
they're
and cats.
both
You say that dogs and cats look the same? That's speciest.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
you
they're fucking
guys.
each other while both shitting in the floor at the same time.
What the fuck?
Oh,
do
they
you
must be
think
Japanese.
animals do?
Well,
I was thinking
as
German.
you look very nice.
As a cock,
You're
you look
welcome.
very nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Was a cock I do?
Death
That's
of
what he-
the cock.
that's what he said.
That's what I heard you say.
No, I didn't say
As a
that.
cock, you look very nice.
That is true, Dragon. At least it's not Prime. Prime sucks.
Prime.
Hmm.
What prime?
The energy drink known as
I think
Prime.
it's a shitty
It's
energy
terrible.
drink
I don't know that
that one douche tuber made and was like trying to.
Oh, have you guys
Yeah,
heard
it's
about
Oh,
really
Mr.
what's that?
Beast
Another content
restaurant?
creator that's proven my
Oh,
point
yeah,
that
he-
anything they promote is shit.
He's
suing the
he's
company
like
and
a
they're
legitimate
bringing him back.
douche tuber. And to me, there's a couple of categories. There's like your standard YouTubers, and then you got your douche tubers.
Well, Mr. Beast
And-
does a lot of good though at the same time. Like he gives away a ton of money.
Yeah,
mean,
but
he
never
got
takes any
searched.
responsibility when he fucks up places.
So, what happened to his restaurant?
Well, they're basically ghost restaurants. I think he finally
Ghost.
started
It's like a ghostwriter, but for food.
Yep, basically like Red Robin and stuff will make their food and make his food and send it. You can only order it for delivery. You don't actually go a place. And how it's marketed and stuff, it looks really good. The food looks really good, but the company that he hired to do this hasn't been checking on quality of the places that actually sign up to make these. So he's been getting bombarded with horrible reviews from it because like 7-Eleven is making his burgers. Lily, are you coming in? And as you know, 7-Eleven doesn't really have.
Why would anybody eat a hamburger from gas station?
Agreed. And if they knew it was coming from 7-Eleven, then they probably wouldn't order it.
Or as I call it, a gas and
Yeah,
pass away.
there's no quality control at all. And he kept raising up issues with this company, and now he's just suing them because they haven't done anything about it. They just keep opening more of these ghost restaurants in his name. And even in other countries and stuff, they use his face and his likeness and have signed other contracts.
Sounds complicated.
That's
the company
illegal.
he worked with also had some of their food trucks blow up. I didn't hear that one.
With a terrorist?
Emily D. Baker.
Damn, there must have been some hot tamales.
Talks about it on YouTube, and I'm
Who talked about it on?
on YouTube. Emily D. Baker. She's a lawyer.
Hey, Matt did a food theory.
Those are
Why
some
did
hot,
they blow
those are
up?
some
That's the
hot
one that I have to watch.
Those are
Just
some
that
hot
one.
tamales. Good one.
Like, did a terrorist target them because they really didn't like the food, or
No, they
like,
probably just not properly maintained.
like, did they actually like explode like a car bomb blow up, or just quit running?
We're not gonna get. Does it really matter?
Yes,
Yes.
because if like a fucking
Very
like if the
important.
fucking engine just blows up and like it quits running, like that's one thing. If you're driving down the fucking road and it explodes like a fucking ambulance on fire, then okay, that's different.
There's a massive difference between your car going up in a fucking fireball and a spark plug going out.
Yeah, exactly. So like, did it
Okay.
legitimately like explosion blow up, or did they just blow the engine up and it quit running?
Okay, I got Dragon's getting pulled in to explain this.
We are summoning the expert.
An
Well, I'm
expert on
glad
what?
we need an expert
There you go,
on
Dragon. You can talk.
cars exploding.
I'm the one who told her about this. There's a video. What it is the company that he worked with to create Mr. Beast worked with to create his ghost restaurants. The food trucks were because they were ill-maintained, there were no safety procedures, and the propane tanks blew up. One woman
Oh, okay. So it's like an ambulance. Okay.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't exactly call it an ambulance, but yeah,
No,
they
ambulances explode due to the oxygen tanks.
okay.
Yeah, I
But
thought they just had
yeah,
Irish
no, it
drivers.
literally was he chose the worst of all the ghost restaurants to companies to work with. And the quality of those burgers is absolutely horrible because there was no set recipe. So you could order the same hamburger from 3 or 4 different
Well, what do you
restaurants.
expect getting a hamburger from a gas station?
well,
Everybody
that's
knows
the
you don't eat gas station
that's
food.
that's the thing, Rog. You could not go to these places. You had to order through Grubhub or something like that, and it didn't come
Oh
up
my
as a
god.
gas station. It came up as Mr. Beast restaurant.
The
Yep.
fact that they
That's the
called it
problem
Grubhub,
with
they
the
should be grateful they got
Well,
food and
that's
not just stuff
I
completely caked
forgot
in
what the
semen.
original question was and have no idea
that's
what you guys are
dirty.
talking about.
We're talking about Mr. Beast's food that
It's the
he's
problem
currently
with
in the middle
all
of a
ghost
lawsuit.
restaurants.
Mr. B's, do we like our
Mr.
local
Beast.
joint?
Mr. Beast.
Oh,
He has a restaurant, which is their ghost restaurants. I think he finally opened up a brick and mortar one.
No, he
I'm not
didn't.
sure where.
No, he
Hello,
only did.
Perplexed. Are you there?
He only
Welcome to the
opened up
podcast.
a temporary one, which he did at the very start to announce the ghost restaurants. But
Well,
there's
no,
never been an actual
I
brick and mortar one.
Watch
I
out, it
think
probably
he did.
explodes.
I think he.
Stay the hell away
Emily
from
D.
that
Baker
restaurant.
said that he started to, at least here recently.
I've only heard the only one I heard of is when he
Yeah,
in
Mr.
his
Beast.
video where he announced it. He had a brick and mortar one, which was just he rented it from the people to make the food as a way to announce I'm opening a restaurant all across the country. Only it was not what people were expecting.
Yeah.
That's
So
just
once
very
again,
dirty that like you order it through like you can't just go to the place and get the food. Like that way you can kind of pick. You have to order it through like Grubhub or whatever. I get it. He was probably just trying to.
which the name of it sounds like the Wish.com equivalent of ordering food.
Yeah.
Grubhub's been
Oh
around
my
for
god,
a
that's funny.
long time.
Yeah. And they're just a delivery service.
Yeah, it's just like DoorDash or.
But it's just another fun example. Something done by a YouTuber and it massively fucks up in every way possible. Like,
It's
people
just
just need to
because
stop fucking relying on them to do it.
Well, no, he
You guys
put
remember
his
the pink
faith
sauce?
in. What?
Remember the pink sauce?
What pink sauce?
That wasn't a
Oh.
YouTuber. That was a TikToker.
Oh,
Either
right,
way,
right.
she's
Yeah,
actually
same
in
thing.
serious trouble, by the way.
Oh,
yeah.
good. It's about time.
She's been lying, trying to say the company that took over and has been actually properly making the sauces and having them sold on store shelves isn't paying her, even though they are. She's not making all the money because, well, the sauce isn't good. It never was good. And people aren't buying it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
The pink sauce fiasco was a mess.
Okay. A while ago, there was this TikTok woman. She was showing off eating anything. Like, I'm talking chicken tenders, sandwiches, whatever, where she was putting this bright, vibrant pink sauce in it. Like, I'm talking Pepto Bismol pink.
Apparently.
And everyone was like, "What's this sauce? What's this sauce?" So she finally says, "All right, you know what, everybody? I'm gonna go make it for you." And it's basically just ranch. It's basically a homemade ranch that supposedly she puts. People are thinking that she put dye in it, but it's more likely she was putting the bright pink dragon fruit in it. And that was what was giving it, at least temporarily, the bright pink color, because dragon fruit isn't a stable color. It breaks down in sunlight.
Question, was she putting the fruit part of it in or the skin?
The fruit.
Okay.
That's not
There
even the worst thing that she put in that and how she
yeah.
shipped
Well, no,
it.
because with the
Yeah,
skin it
gets
poisons
worse.
people.
Although she shipped poison, but it wasn't dragon fruit
So when
skin.
first and foremost, she did not know that the FDA is responsible for okaying any foods people produce and sell. Because she didn't understand what the F was in the FDA. Secondly, she was shipping sauces that are milk and mayonnaise based and egg based all around the country
And
during
raw
the height
honey.
of summer and raw honey in the height of summer with no cooling, no ice packs, no insulated boxes, just literally shoving the bottles into pink envelopes and mailing it that way. People were getting it back with the bottle blown up because, of course, that thing went rancid and turned into a
Cheese.
biohazard grenade.
It turned into cheese.
She was. Oh no, it did not turn into cheese. That was
I
not cheese.
bet it was delicious cheese. Like, had a mild bite mushroom smell, but I bet it was pretty bitter.
Oh, no.
I didn't mind the wet
Then
chunk.
it got worse.
What?
People started noticing that when on her packaging, the serving size
And that was the
444, which is the angel number. So basically the opposite of the devil's number.
Wait, 444's Angel?
Yes. Or whatever. It's called the angel number. You'd have to look into what that's all about. I don't know that.
That
She
starts in 30
had to
seconds,
change
guys.
that away because, of course, when you put a label on things, you have to say there's no joking. It has to be, if there's 444 servings, there better be 444 servings in that thing.
I don't remember that was the big thing she like addressed on some dumbass talk show.
Nope.
She was like, "Well, we know we got the labeling wrong, you know.
Yeah, that was
that's
a
all. That was the
typo.
only problem. The whole thing where I was shipping actual poison across the fucking nation. That was all. That we're not even going to address that. That didn't even happen.
Hey
It was the
guys,
labeling that was wrong."
whenever there's a slot open, I had a paranormal activity today.
And
Okay.
the
Which
next thing that happened.
I didn't even need to ask if she was in
was-
America, because in English she would have been fucking
is.
strung up.
Oh, she is. She's
She's
American.
Georgia.
So she faked having an FDA person come in and talk to her
Oh
when
my
she
God.
finally, I guess, Google searched what FDA means. Then another TikToker got the sauce, and this was thankfully after she started packaging it appropriately, so it was safe for or slightly safe for consumption. Because people started noticing that she was using glitter glue to put the damn stickers on the bottle.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, they found glitter inside of it. Yeah, I remember
Yes, there
that.
was glitter in this woman. So what she ended up doing
How did
was
I not know about this?
she took the woman who found the glitter in it took a sample and sent it into a lab to get the results. And that's when Pink Sauce Lady threw a fit. And then Pink Sauce Lady and this other TikToker get pulled onto this talk show where they start talking,
Excuse me.
and she the talk show host obviously has obviously been paid to advertise the pink sauce, because at this point this is when Pink Sauce Lady's sauce got picked up by some really well-known brand for making sauce. It's Dave's something, I don't remember. So they're all tearing down this woman. Literally, Pink Sauce Lady reaches out, grabs the other TikToker's hand and says, "You're not special. Everyone tries to take me down. You're not special." And at the end, the talk show host basically tells the TikToker who sent the sauce in for testing that you have the biggest issue, you have the biggest part of blame here. And then they announced that her sauce got picked up and is being sold. Then that talk show actually got so much crap for it. They took down all the promotions they had for that episode off of YouTube and anywhere else they posted it. Then they did a checkup episode, and it was still not the best. He basically said, "I'm sorry for what I did to you, but oh, by the way, Pink Sauce Lady, I hear you have all this good stuff coming." And the problem is that because they're not using any dyes, they're only using the main company is still only using the dragon fruit. Like I said, dragon fruit is not a light safe colorant. So once the pink sauce is pulled out of the boxes, put on the shelves, it starts going beige. You lose that bright pink Pepto-Bismol color. And now she's claiming that she is bankrupt, that they're sending her negative balance check, and that
How can
they
I send a
sold
negative balance?
200,000 bottles and she's not seeing any money, not understanding that the company, yes, sold to Walmart and whatever else place a bunch of bottles, But until those bottles are bought and the money's sold to them, she's not going to see a cent. And as I understand it, those bottles literally, they were up on the shelves for a little bit, and then they started, like, within a month, their prices were getting chopped down to where it's like, I think $1.50 to get the sauce now. Went from $7.50 to $1.50.
Yeah, nobody wants to dump like gooey pink shit all over their food. That's
Right.
fucking
I mean,
weird.
at that point, you might as well just pour the Pepto Bismol on it.
Right. But if you really want a in-depth coverage of this death, you should check out the YouTuber Atozy.
What
I'll send you a link to his YouTube channel. He's covered a bunch of this crazy stuff. He even covered the psychic who claimed that, I think it was the stabbing in Denver. Like, she came up with this whole
Oh
crazy.
yeah, that Gillig girl or what the fuck ever.
Yeah,
The
she came up with
fuck.
a crazy fantasy novel
Yeah,
story
she wrote a
of
fanfic about those 4 kids that got murdered out in like Idaho or
including some
someplace.
poor innocent professor who had nothing even to do with any of those kids in it.
Yeah,
He
and then
blamed
she's
her
like,
for it and everything.
yeah, I did a tarot card reading, and this is what I figured out. Like the cards
This is
don't
what the
lie. You
tarot
can't
card
lie.
told me. This is the truth. That would be a whole podcast just covering that and all of you laughing at that bullshit.
Might have to do that. I'll have to
I
look
don't
into
even
it.
like tarot cards because it's bullshit, but even that irritated me.
Oh man, I was trying to think. What was that? Ashley Gilliger or something like that. That was her name.
I think so. It's been a
I
while.
remember her name because of like it reminded me of Gilligan's Island. But her name's like Gilliger or maybe it was Gilligan or Gilgly or Googly or
Gilgamesh.
some
Gilgamesh.
shit. Nah, it wasn't that. It was. I'm pretty sure it was. Might have been like McGillicuddy or some shit. I don't fucking remember, but it was
McGurkin.
definitely something like that. Ashley Gilliger, I
Coach
think.
McGurk.
Sure. Anyway, yeah, dude, that chick was wild. And like whenever she was threatened to be like sued, that she doubled down. Instead of backing off, she doubled down and she's like, "Well, I do have evidence, but now that I'm like locked into this court battle, I can't show anybody the evidence because it's all got to go through the courts now." And it's just like, what evidence? Like,
And actually, when she got a cease and desist letter from the professor, she was saying did all this through her tarot cards. She then proceeded to take that cease and desist, ripped it up, and then put it on her toilet paper, saying, "I've got some toilet paper now."
Oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah, she was really stupid.
Smart. She's a very smart one.
Oh yeah, she's
We should
fucking
aspire to be like her, guys.
genius level. Yeah, just start accusing random
Sometimes people
people of
just need to
wild
start eating
shit.
Tide Pods again.
She was like talking about like how she
Don't
had
make
a
it sound bad.
dream about the one chick that got murdered or whatever, and like how she was like hugging her mom and telling her mom like, "Don't worry, I know who did this and shit." She was like talking about all this shit on TikTok. I'm kind of surprised you missed this, Death. You're always on TikTok watching weird shit.
Not always on TikTok. I watch a lot of gaming stuff on TikTok. I don't watch a lot of shit on TikTok.
I sent you a
Or
link, by the
Reddit.
way, Death. I sent you the link
Reddit stuff.
for the whole playlist on it.
Ooh. Okay.
It's
Psychic ruins her life.
very interesting.
Yeah,
I
that
will be
all
watching
happened a
that
few months
tomorrow.
back though.
Right.
I don't know. I'm hoping that they do like let them broadcast the court hearing like over the internet like they do with some of the cases. I will sit there and watch that shit day after day. I would
I think
love to
everyone
see
would.
this chick pulling out her fucking tarot cards in front of the judge. Say, "All right, judge, this is how it works. All right, you see, she murdered that person, and that's what this card means." And like, just
Watch as the judge just narrows
I
his eyes more and more.
I really hope that they show like they show it live on the internet. I want to watch that. I don't normally watch that shit like live court cams or whatever, but dude, that one would be amazing to watch.
That
Don't
would
want
be
to
on
miss that
par
one.
with watching the Johnny Depp and Amber
See, I
Heard.
didn't even watch that one.
Technically, they would be allowed to do that because ghost and spiritual shit is legally recognized as being real.
The
Because
Yeah,
they
only
can't.
thing is,
but
I think they might have settled out of court, or actually, no, I
oh,
remember now. She never showed up. She kept trying. She just basically it got defaulted because she never showed up. Because guess what? She doesn't live in the state where the college where all that happened, and she was upset that the professor filed the court case in the professor's state, not the state the psychic was living in,
Oh my
and
goodness.
saying that's not fair.
The tarot cards told her the wrong date.
I know it's on this envelope that I got in the mail, but no, the tarot cards, they say it's on
they're
a different
telling
day.
me it's the other day. Damn it! I can't believe what the law says. I believe in a higher law. I got to go with what it says.
Yeah,
The
for the
tarot card said it was going to rain that day, so I didn't show up.
for the court summons
Yeah,
on
I
a
heard
letter,
there
they
were-
should have just written on it, used the tarot cards to figure it out.
The tarot cards told me there was going to be a tornado hitting the courthouse that day, so I didn't show up because I didn't want to die.
Bright sunny weather, not a cloud in the sky.
They're like over there, well, this is the most beautiful day we've had in like a century.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I have a topic that I actually talked about at university here when I was a freshman. And I'm thinking that all of us are going to agree one way on this topic. Because in this class, when it was brought up, most of us had the same idea with it, but there was one girl who just disagreed. And me and Ares briefly talked about it the other day, but have you guys ever heard of designer babies?
No.
Are you talking about where people
Isn't that test tube babies?
literally are wanting to try and genetically modify the embryos before they get implanted so that way they're like blue-eyed, blonde hair, white children?
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
to flip through a magazine and like pick the eye
Pretty
color,
and
the hair
smart,
color.
whatever. And so the argument was, would you be okay with designer babies or messing with genetic code, even though it could bring on different diseases or worse diseases and stuff like that, and new illnesses into the world?
No, the
Well, that
only way
depends.
I don't agree with changing your children so they have the specific eye color and hair color and whatnot that you want and height and all that stuff. The only thing I agree with the altering of the genes is removing some of those illnesses
Yeah,
that
like
are
cancer.
absolutely cancer, or there's a disease I know that runs through it's a genetic disorder that's mainly in the acidic Jew population
Well,
where
Did you say acidic
but that
Jew?
also further
yes.
goes into there. So
What the hell's an acidic Jew?
say
A
they
Jew made of acid?
No, I probably butchered the name of it, but it's basically think
Jew
of
acid.
the Amish for Jews.
But like
Oh,
even
okay.
messing with like trying to remove like cancers or those genetic cells or whatever that could bring on the possibility of cancer, what if by doing that it gives them a higher chance of getting ALS?
Oh no, that's where I feel we are not at the point in our technology where we can do this. But once we are, trust me, the disease that I was talking about, it's called the mewing or crying illness. The babies live for only 7 days because they can't eat, they cannot digest foods, they cannot take in
nugs.
any nutrients, and they literally just waste away. I think I would take the risk of babies dealing with more cancer later on if we could wipe out that disease.
Like that, but like that's like the biggest argument is the fact that here you are messing with genetics. But the more you mess with genetics, the higher the chances you bring something that we have no idea what it is or how about it. Like say you mess with a baby's genetics, but because of that, they can only live to the age of 10.
Right.
Like, but it's not like choose one or the other. You either, okay, you mess with genetics and these are your possibilities that could or would happen, or you leave it alone.
No pun intended here, but whenever you like start breaking into new scientific grounds like that, you need to take baby steps and figure out exactly what the fuck. Like they can create simulations and shit, right? Like we've mapped the human genome or what the fuck ever. Like all that.
We haven't fully mapped it yet, but we're definitely getting closer.
Well, then don't fuck with the shit that we haven't mapped yet.
And simulations aren't an analog for nature.
Right.
They can only do so much.
I know simulations aren't perfect. Like I get that, and I'm not saying fully rely on that. I'm just saying, like, there's certain things that they can simulate, and by simulate, I don't mean run one simulation. I mean run like 1,000, 10,000 on the exact same thing, and let it play out different ways through a simulation to see what the percentage chances of negative effects are, if any. But I mean, that's how I see that. But no, like, yeah, if you can like remove certain diseases from the gene pool, certain genes from like an unborn or well, a future human being, like if you can remove shit like cancer genes, or because there's genes that do cause cancer, like different kinds, like breast cancer, or like ovary cancer, or whatever. They're like if they can remove those without causing additional issues, and I mean, you can make the argument, well, yeah, but that, on the other side, I mean, you can make the argument, well, yeah, but that'll fuck the kid up and cause other problems. Well, welcome to modern medicine. They literally tell you that well, this will cure your psychosis, but you also might have suicidal thoughts. Like on like common commercials, like where they're like, "Oh, talk to your doctor about. Are you afraid of getting knocked up? And talk to your doctor about this implant that makes your vagina broken or whatever. Also, it might cause bleeding and death. Like that's just modern science. Like
Right. There's always a give
they,
and
they
take.
always give you that shit. Well, this will fix this problem, but your fingers might fall off. But hey, at least you won't have this problem anymore.
Which
Like
brings up a point with things that I don't like about these theoretical arguments, because everyone's always just focused on endpoints, but what about the other things that could happen? It will bring on a new generation of Nazis if they can design their babies.
Right. Well, that's why I was
Yeah.
saying, for me, I
I
don't
don't.
like the idea of using it to design babies. I
Yeah,
like the
that's where it
idea
gets me.
of
Like,
it.
I don't like where like a parent is going to create a child in this perfect image in their head, because the parent's going to be biased and it's going to be set up a life for their own kid, and that's not
And
healthy.
counterpoint, parents are technically doing that now already.
Yes.
With fucking hormone treatments and basically force them to change their gender.
Oy vey.
Yeah, did you guys hear about Megan Fox? And she has 3 boys. And she promotes the fact that she is on their side or whatever, is safe space, because they're all dressed as girls now.
Oh, dear
And
Lord.
there
How
was
old are they?
they're young. I think the oldest is maybe a teenager, maybe.
I can't really
Okay.
say I'm surprised because the first time I saw Megan Fox, I legitimately thought she was a man.
But
Could be.
Well, obviously, you must be looking at different Megan Fox than like
old
majority of.
Wait,
Megan
who's Megan
Fox was
Fox
a
again?
babe,
Her
but
head
once
is
she
very
started getting
blocky.
once she got into the plastic
Okay,
surgery and
Megan
stuff,
Fox.
no.
Who's Megan Fox? Remind me, what
Oh,
movies or
Megan
TV
Fox
shows
is
or?
a fox. Meow.
That's not what
Transformers.
foxes say.
Transformers.
She's the one time when I will condone fox
Um.
hunting.
Okay.
Uh,
The one
Jennifer's
that-
body.
Yep, Jennifer's body was her peak. Meow meow. Meow.
I saw that movie, but it was like 100 years ago, I think.
Do you remember the
That's when she was
original
relevant.
Transformers movie?
I remember a
It's the very
hot
first
chick in
one.
one of the Transformer movies. I think
It's
it
Was
was
she a
the same one
brunette?
that had
Yes.
Bumblebee and Shia LaBeouf.
Yes.
There were two. Was she? Do you remember if she was a brunette or was she blonde?
Brunette.
No, I'm asking Rawg.
I remember a brunette or dark hair.
That was Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, she's
third
Hey
movie
guys,
she's
that
hot
had
or
Hey
was.
guys,
Shiloh.
I'm a Transformer
Megan
expert. So
Fox
it was the first and
refused-
second movie she was in.
Yeah, because the third movie, Megan Fox refused to
'Cause she
join
wanted
it to
Yep,
come
and that's
back.
More
when they
money.
did Rosalie Whiteley, whatever. Jason Statham's girlfriend.
Yeah,
Right.
like, I'm even looking at her now, and she looks like a dude.
Well, yeah, because she
Who?
got into all that fucking plastic surgery. Like, she
Who
fucked
did?
up her face.
Megan Fox?
Megan Fox.
Yeah.
She's never looked better. What are you guys talking
She
about?
looks like a trans
I-
male.
No.
Oh, you like the
I-
plastic look then?
She's very plastic now.
But for
But-
me,
I wouldn't say
my
no.
issue with what she's doing is I really feel like that is more of a
Well, and that's not the end of it. Like,
oh God,
there
it's
was
worse.
a newscaster who apparently lived in the same neighborhood and his kids like were playing with their kids, and those boys would go and say, "Yeah, our mom makes us dress like this."
I'm not surprised. It's all
Like,
about that.
It's all about being woke.
Yes. It's the same thing with everyone who
She should
says
ask Bud Light
that
how
their
that went.
3-year-old kid who plays with
Who said that?
Barbies must be gay at best.
Hi.
Who's
Dude, at
gay
3
at
years
best?
old, Barbies are just female action figures.
Right. But what I'm talking about is that there's a bunch of people who will say, my child, my 3-year-old son, who's playing with Barbies, must be gay, so I'm going to treat him like he's gay.
Now, I
Oh.
wanted a Barbie whenever I was a little kid, but I wanted the Barbie for the titties. I wanted to see titties. I didn't give a shit. I wasn't gay. I wanted to take all of her clothes off and look at her boobies. Like that was my thing whenever I was a
Me
kid.
too.
Can
I'm like,
confirm.
what does a bush look like, and what do
Yeah,
titties look like?
This was before I
Oh!
Sorry to
discovered
tell
porn.
You, Barbie would not never had a
No,
bush. She
I remember
printed
seeing
on
my
the-
first little.
wait.
Wait. You wait.
Okay.
My first little cutout photo of a magazine. My buddy sold it to me for $5. It was a terrible copy of a Playboy, like from 1982, and I was like, boobs in a bush, and I was the happiest little eighth
Boobs
grader
in a bush.
ever. True
Okay,
story.
Jack.
Hey, do you know what inspired the Barbie?
Well, who?
Oh yes, I do,
What?
but I'll let you.
What
explain it.
inspired the
Marilyn
Barbie?
Monroe
A sex
or the
doll.
other one?
A German sex doll. You must.
Which
add
is
in it was
funny
German.
because how do I
Really?
describe Barbies? As baby's first porn set.
Oh my
I thought you were going to
God.
say his German sex dolls.
She was a. It was a comic character and a doll that was sold at newsstands, and it was a gag gift for men. And she was always getting into these really. She was very promiscuous, and she was always getting into these situations.
Oh, I gotta look up this comic. Well, now I know what I'm naming this fucking podcast when I post it
And
to
too
YouTube.
bad the one thing she didn't get stuck in was the toaster bath.
Oh my God.
Oh, Ares. But going back to what you're talking about,
I lit one on fire one time.
Death, I am not surprised that Megan Fox is doing that because I hate when people do that. I hate when they push their beliefs on kids. It's why, quite frankly, I sort of agree with Texas in the whole limiting the age of when kids can start to transition.
Yep.
Which
Leave the
I
kids
agree
out of
with
it.
as well. If there's a restriction when they can
I
drink, when they
thoroughly-
can smoke, when they can hold firearms, why isn't there a restriction on when they can do something that's basically going to mutilate them for the rest of their life?
Yep,
That's what
because
I
there's
say.
no
I
real
agree with
going
that.
back. There's no going back.
And
Well,
there
and
are a
wasn't
lot
it
of horror
even
stories
Kate-
of people who want to go back and can't.
Yeah, like
Yep.
wasn't it even Caitlyn Jenner who, after she switched from being Bruce Jenner to Caitlyn Jenner and even got rid of her penis, she said, "I wish I hadn't done that."
I don't know if they did because I don't know if Caitlyn Jenner did because they got a lot of money for having transitions. So
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of horror stories from a lot of people saying they
I
wish they
do
never did
remember
that.
hearing like one of the first people who came out saying who was actively trying to transition back, and they explained that they were I can't remember. I don't remember which way they were going, but they said they wanted to. At the time, the reason they wanted to transition was because they were being bullied, and they looked over at the other gender, and that was not. And they could not see the bullying that they were experiencing because obviously boys and girls bully differently.
Girls
they
are
thought-
ruthless. What the hell?
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. But I'm just saying, boys and girls they bully differently, and they bully girls. We're ruthless, but we're sneaky ruthless. We do
Technically,
not
yes
bully
and no.
you.
It depends on how you deal with it, because if you get somebody who can bite back, they fuck off very quickly.
Oh, I know, but I meant was like a boy looking at a bunch of girls is not going to see the bullying as openly as other girls will see it.
What YouTuber got arrested for child abuse?
So this probably
That happens all the time.
That's
Yeah, I was about to
probably
say,
Eight
isn't there a more appropriate
oh,
question
that's
which
8
YouTuber?
passengers. That's 8 passengers. I guarantee you that's 8 passengers.
Well,
8
from the sounds of it, there was
I
more
don't
than
even know
8
what that is.
passengers in the vehicle.
Well no, what it is it's one of those family vlogging YouTubers who she actually divorced her
Yep,
husband
Ruby
and
Frank.
started a cult.
Is
And
Family
she
YouTubers are
she
terrible.
happily made a video telling how she told the school not to feed her preschool age daughter because the kid did not make a lunch.
After
She
officials found a malnourished child with duct
she
tape on their extremities and open wounds.
Oh dear lord, yeah, that's 8 passengers. I'd heard she'd been arrested,
That
but
was
no one.
yesterday. Arrested
Yes.
yesterday. Holy
I'm
shit,
not
this is
surprised.
real new.
That's a whole can of worms that is a nightmare.
Turns out there's some things flex tape can't fix.
And also she spread her beliefs in her little cult. So I guarantee you there's a bunch of other kids and other families that are seeing the same abuse.
Guys, so if you guys got parenting advice from
8
8
passengers,
don't go somewhere else. Fuck, that's fucked. Also took her son's room away from him for like 7 months over a prank.
Yeah, I think he jokingly told his little brother that they might be going to. I think it was because he told his younger brother that they might be going to Disney World. So yeah, I think she also had that same son be kidnapped by one of those youth groups that kidnap the kids and toss them into the wilderness.
Yeah, you take the
What? That's a thing?
Yes. If I remember correctly, and when he came back, she still wasn't done after he'd spent months out in the wilderness. She took his bed away. He had to sleep on a beanbag chair.
Huh.
Oh my god.
Well, that was
It-
probably a major upgrade from sleeping on the ground.
Yeah.
He said he
Touche.
would have rather preferred the Crown because at least
Yeah.
the Crown gave him support. Beanbags are horrible.
Yeah, they're good for
Aw.
sitting, but not
And
for
not
long
for
periods
that
of
long
time.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take a door for slamming. What? There's no reason to be taking a room. No reason. Wow. Like, why have kids?
To make
Why
money
you're
on
gonna act them
YouTube.
this way or treat them this way?
All 8 of her kids were meant so she could make money on YouTube, like Rawg said.
Yep.
Oh my god.
That's like a new trend. A lot of people are having kids just so they can like be on social media. Like, look at my baby. She's so
It's not really a
amazing.
new trend. It's
I saw
basically just
that.
gone from one. It's basically just another reason to have kids now. It's gone from child benefit to getting popular on social media.
And child benefits.
Yep.
I read a thing where there was a family that was going to adopt a kid from Syria or something.
I
Or
think
somewhere in
it
Africa.
was Thailand actually.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
what it was.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
but then they
heard
sent
that
them back.
legally they're not allowed to videotape the child at all because of the transition
For
between
several
countries.
months.
Yeah, and then they said, yeah, we don't want the kid anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And because they found that they couldn't record the baby at all.
Yeah, they
For like-
wanted
for like a
to
year.
make videos on the adoption process.
Yep, and they weren't allowed to for up to like a year afterwards, so that they could adjust to the new country and then be introduced into that
Yeah,
lifestyle of being recorded.
it's like kids in foster care. When you're a foster parent, you cannot post any pictures of those kids.
Right.
Like, because one of my friends is a foster parent. She's actually she's actually trying to adopt one right now. And the hoops that she has to jump through, even though she's adopting through the same agency that she's a foster parent through, so they technically have all this paperwork already on file. She has to resubmit all this paperwork again, even a marriage license from her husband's first marriage, which was way years ago. They don't even have the marriage license on hand anymore, so they would actually have to go to the courthouse and pay for it. Like, this amount of stuff where good parents who are actually trying to do the right thing, they have to jump through all these fucking hoops, and then people like this just are able to get a whole bunch of kids or have a whole bunch of kids and not have shit.
Oh, then you really wouldn't want to know about you really wouldn't want to look into the RV life family YouTubers then.
Oh my god.
Most of the
Okay.
time with those, the worst thing about it is the kids get stuck in these little coffin-shaped boxes as their beds, while the parents have this giant space of room, and the kids are just shoved into the tiny little storage space.
Which brings up something that I'd forgotten about. It got mentioned years ago. It's like you need to have a license for a dog. You need training to get a job or anything like that. But when you bring a person into the world, you can just do that whenever. It's like why aren't people being trained on how to be parents in like I think it's equivalent of high school or our secondary school? Is like why is there no parental
Probably
teaching
I
or
think,
just
I
they're
think they
used-
do offer that
They
to a
used
certain
to
extent.
do it, but then they got rid of it. They home economics used to teach you how to run a household, used to teach you how to raise kids. Now that's gone.
I heard they recently got rid of history as well.
oh,
It's all in
fuck.
favor of forcing, like, let's change math for the 10th time and make it to where, all right, how many people were taught their times tables by memorization more than by actually calculating it out?
Yeah. I calculated it
tried
out,
to-
but they were
It was
trying to
through
teach me
memorization.
memorization.
They
Yeah.
tried to teach
Yeah.
me that through memorization. I still suck at times tables, so
Well, now
They tried memory, but I had my own way of doing it.
the kids are
Me
not
too.
allowed to do any form of memorization. They have to calculate it out.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that
Not
Man,
really,
I'm
because
teaching
they're
my
not
kids
training their
both ways.
memory skills.
Well, it's
Well, and
also
then
there's
what
also
about
just
the situation about like you have all these other multiplications where you're not going to be able to do memorization on it?
well, no, I'm not the more advanced stuff you have to get taught how to calculate. I'm talking about how 1 times 1 is what?
1.
1.
1.
They have to do this wide range of math just to come up with that. Or 9 times 9 is 81. They have to make
Multiplying
up.
by 9 is easy as long as you have all 10 digits.
Yes. That's
Right.
what I was just
I
gonna
actually
do.
I even realized there's a whole other easier way. You just need to know the answers of 9 times all the way from 9 times 1 to 9, or 9 times 2 to 9 times 5, and you're set for 9 times 1 through 9 times 9.
The
Because
last two
after
digits always add up to
5,
9.
that, and also after 5, the numbers just flip positions. So 6 times 9 is 54, whereas 9 times 5 is 45. And it
I
goes
This is more
all
Did
that
fun.
not know
way.
that.
This
Yeah,
is more
it goes
fun
all
for
the
me.
way till 9 times 9 is 81, 9 times 2 is 18.
My brain hurts.
There's too many numbers.
Okay, no more math.
Right.
Yes, Val, I
2
totally
plus 2
agree with
equals
you
fish.
on some people shouldn't be allowed to breed. And if they want to have a vasectomy or a hysterectomy or a tubal ligation, they should be allowed to have those.
Wait, why is Clocks agreeing with me?
I can't remember.
Oh, I just saw it.
I got
She
this
said
nifty
me
little thing
too.
called this.
Me
Do you
too,
remember
Rawg.
that in school? Do you remember that how for
I think she's
years?
talking about your head hurt.
Hey,
Yeah.
guys, you want a memory flashback right now live on your thing?
Here,
Yes.
hold on. Let me
No,
finish
no,
what I
this
was saying.
takes 2 seconds.
Mhm. Yeah, calculator.
Yeah, Rog. If
But
you
what
want your
is
brain
it?
if you want your brain to hurt even more, I've got another one for you. If you add all the numbers from 1 to 100, it goes up. It adds up to
The
5,050.
TI-83. Like we all had these in high
Really?
school.
I never had one.
Anyway, sorry I
Who
interrupted.
figures this out? Who sits
But
there and figures this out?
Keep
Damn
going.
it, Eric.
Sorry.
do you guys remember sitting in math class and they're like, they always told you, always, every single time you complained about doing math, they're like, well, you're not always going to be able to have a calculator on you. Now we do.
Yeah.
That was a different time. That was
No,
a
but
different
like-
time.
Actually a watch
but
They
even
thought
then-
cell phones were
Just a
gimmicks.
calculator.
But even then, that argument wouldn't work because when I was in school, my phone had a fucking calculator on it.
Well, see, yeah, like with our generation, it all changed. Well, except for Wolf. Wolf is he's a
Like,
baby.
I'm never going to need to find X because I'm not a fucking pirate.
We have a pirate if we ever need to do that as well. So
James. We'll see him in a couple hours. He's taking a nap.
oh yeah, speaking of that, so I got one. It's a brief story, but somebody there was this kid, he was in school, and like he was one of those kids that had a bad habit of staring out the window all the time. Daydreaming and shit. And one day his teacher told him, like, I guess his teacher finally had enough and was like, all right, look, you're never, there is no job out there where you can get paid for looking out a window. You know what the guy is now?
Birdwatcher.
He's a pilot.
Hold on, I'm sorry. What was he?
He's a pilot now. Like his teacher told him, like, you're not going to get a job where you get paid to look out a window all day, and now he's a pilot. So that's.
Well, there's a lot going on though with that though.
I don't think you can make a lot of money off of bird watching.
Not
And I
really,
think bird
because
watchers are
most of
mostly
it's
outside.
most of piloting it's autopilot, and
Yeah.
most
What
of the
kind of
control
piloting?
the commercial airlines.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, like,
Because
there's.
most of those is fucking autopilot,
Just playing
and
this music. Is
even
it
if you don't know what you're
Utah?
doing, like it's literally one fucking radio call away,
Is
and they
the
give you a
bass
full
about
list
to
of
drop?
instructions.
Sorry,
Is
guys.
the base about to
Sorry, I
drop?
forgot to mute.
Is there a base falling from the sky? I don't understand.
He's listening to something.
No.
He's in his own little world.
Like Piloting, while yes, it's a stressful job, is also one of the easiest because if the pilot kicks it, any passenger could go up to the cockpit, pick up the radio, and get the full list of instructions on what to do and land the plane safely.
Yeah, wasn't there even there was a story about a kid who had to land a plane.
There was a
Because-
movie about it too. It was called Airplane.
Really?
Really, I thought that one was called Lost.
Although they didn't land, they crashed.
Yeah, semantics.
Which I guess is a form of landing, technically, but
It's accelerated
Landing
They did
landing.
by-
end up on land, so I guess yes.
We call that one the
Landing is a
superhero
lot
landing.
faster.
So who's
Ah.
excited about Starfield?
yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard about it.
Don't know what it is.
They're
It's
probably
Bethesda
going to
game.
ruin it. Yeah, it's
It's basically Skyrim in space.
it's probably just going
I
to end up
don't
being
play
more
Skyrim.
shit.
And they've been working on it for 25 years?
Wait, are you talking? Are
Really?
you talking about Star
Mhm.
Citizen?
No
No,
Starfield.
Starfield. It just came out. Well,
No,
early
Star
access did.
Citizen's been in.
It just
early
came out and
access for a
somebody's
while.
already been arrested over the game.
Yeah, I heard
What?
about that.
hold on. What? I didn't hear about it. Let me fill me in.
I've only seen bits and pieces of it because it's Starfield, so I've no interest in that crap, but apparently someone got a leaked version of the game and started streaming it.
Well, it doesn't. It comes out.
And then
soon,
he
though,
was
Val.
posting his gameplay to his own personal YouTube channel, which made it really easy for them to track down. Okay, this guy's fucked, and then they went and arrested him.
No, that's the 6th is like the regular date. Early access, I believe it comes out like tomorrow. Because my brother, he's already like, I'm gonna be playing Starfield all weekend.
Yeah, until he realizes it's a broken piece of shit and doesn't want to play it again. And then immediately forgives it after a day one patch.
We'll see.
And then starts complaining about it again.
I've seen so much good stuff about it, Ares. How are you already bitching about it?
How many games have you seen so many good things about and they've ended up being shit? Aside from every time.
Touche.
Every game.
Well,
The
that's
difference
just because
is,
you
I'm
tend
not-
to break every game that we play.
I'm not some
I
kind of
still
fucking
remember when
Bethesda
Fallout
or elitist
76 came
fanatic
out.
that would just blindly defend everything that fucking comes out because it was made by some company that I liked for the last 5 minutes. If it's gonna be shit, it's gonna be shit. It's Skyrim in space. Play
That makes
Space
sense now.
Engineers. Play Empyrean. The games already exist.
Yep.
But even Space Engineers, isn't that you bitch about that one too?
Well, yeah, considering the
janky.
fact that our Discord group, despite the fact we don't have any tags for Space Engineers, is a more popular Google search result than the fucking Discord group of the people who make the game.
It's
God,
true.
That is so true. The amount of people we
Number
have.
one Google result. Yes.
I can't believe that. How many people we have popping into our Discord server over Space Engineers, which
Like,
we've had
There is
that
a
whole
group
section
dedicated
closed for months.
to making Space Engineers. We're a higher fucking search result than them, and we don't even have the server anymore. We haven't had it for months, and we're still a higher result than them.
Well,
yeah.
at least we're number one on Google for something, even if it's a
My
game that's not
only
around
complaint
anymore.
with Space Engineers is I don't like how the mechanics are set up for the controls. That's my only complaint.
My complaint is the cleanup system doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, we were having a hard time with that.
And it's, honestly, compared to Imperium, boring. Because Imperium's just basically the same game, but actually made.
Yeah, I have 2 people playing Starfield right now that I see on my who I follow on Twitch.
The only game I'm waiting for is Payday 3.
What is Payday about?
Just bank
Bank
robberies.
Really?
Well,
I
no,
could use
saying
some Payday. Where are we going? I'm in.
Saying bank robberies as a whole isn't completely accurate. Going on Payday 2, there is bank robberies. There's also jewelry heists. There's
What
also
okay,
like,
robbery.
there's
Biohazard
not just
What's
that.
the
You also go after drug cartels, steal their drugs to make, steal the ingredients to make the drugs while being shot at by them. And the final mission is basically breaking into the White House and then stealing the presidential pardon so that your characters get off scot-free.
That's funny.
That's the first ending. The actual real ending, which is the Easter egg, is a lot more convoluted.
Isn't there a mission in there where you're stealing the virus that starts Left 4 Dead
Yep.
from
The
the
No Mercy
hospital that
mission.
it starts in?
Yeah, I
Which is
was going
funny
to.
because one of your handlers gets infected with that virus, which leads up to the Easter egg ending for Payday.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You heard it here, guys.
It's a 4-player game where you run around shooting like bad guys that are shooting at you. It's kind of similar to Left 4 Dead, I was going to say, so it's interesting that you guys said that.
I mean, they had a
Except
crossover with Left 4 Dead
you're
and
robbing
Goat
stuff.
Simulator.
You're just stealing and robbing and stealing.
Yeah.
I'm still debating on the whole goat simulator.
But it's not just shooting stuff, like there is stealth missions and stealth mechanics, and you have basically 2 sets of different skill perks that you can have equipped, and it's just that do change how the gameplay works, and I think it was 7 different difficulties, which range from way too easy to complete and utter fucking bullshit.
Well, at least they make it accessible for everyone.
Thanks for the cheer.
Ignoring if they could have it so that there was customized levels, well, it kind of is, but there was more modded levels. That game would probably be nearly as modded as the original Doom.
Well, give it time. I'm sure the community will come up with a bunch of mods for it.
The game's been around for years, or is pretty much.
I thought you meant
cosmetic.
Payday 3.
No, Payday 3 probably will be.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, let the modding community get a hold of it. They'll have all kinds of crazy shit. Who left?
Perplexed.
Oh. Is he going to bed?
No, he's hopping around through the rest of the Discord, but he'll still be in the chat on the stream.
Okay, so I just learned a term from TikTok.
Oh god.
And I want to know if you guys know this term.
Communism, yeah.
No, I know you know that term. You bitch about it enough. And have you guys heard of the term party dick?
No.
Party dick? Is that like where a guy goes to a party and sticks his dick through a hole and like everybody on the other side of the hole starts playing with it and doing shit like that to it?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because we used to call that a glory hole.
that is still a glory hole.
Okay.
Okay, before she explains what it is, how much do people want to bet that is a term that already fucking exists, but they're just very, very minorly redefining it to be something different so that they can make themselves popular for 5 minutes?
I ain't taking the sure bet.
Did you say dick or deck? Like a deck, like you go out
party
on
dick. Party
a party.
penis.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like something to do with a sex party. So, yeah, I stand by mine.
Okay. Are you guys good?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, party dick is what you call someone or call a guy who has an average to like a mediocre type penis because they actually know what they're doing and can actually do other things to fulfill a girl, and they don't just stick it in. While guys who generally have a big penis, that's their one-trick pony. That's all they can do is just stick
You know
it
what the
in.
original, and I was right, you want to know what the original name for that was? A player.
What?
Having talent.
A player? No, a player is someone who goes around to multiple women.
Because he's able to, because there are people that keep going back to him. It's the same fucking thing, they're just renaming it.
Padlock. I think you talked to us.
Yeah,
about
we
that
know
one
what
already.
padlock is.
That's just self-insertion.
It's where you stick your dick in your asshole.
Yeah, same thing again. Renaming something that already exists. It's self-insertion.
See, I don't agree with you on that, Ares. I do not believe party dick is talking about a player. Because I believe you can be in a exclusive, loyal relationship with a party dick.
That's not how you phrased it.
But yes, it is. It's a guy.
No, it's not. You basically the way you described it was a manhole.
No, I did not. I didn't say multiple. I didn't say multiple women.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Was
I
actually
said
strongly
multiple
implied.
ways. Multiple
Also,
ways.
The name Party Dick more implies multiple people.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like some guy just goes to
Well,
a party and
I'm
just
just
starts
going off
fucking
of what.
everybody. He's
Hey,
into men,
and I didn't
women,
come up with the
whatever.
term. I didn't come up with the term. I'm just saying that's what this term is. What I learned.
And this
I
is
didn't
why I
come
have
up with the
nothing to do
term.
with TikTok. I can feel my brain cells committing suicide, and
just
I've never been on
flying,
it.
Yeah,
he's
see,
just flying
Valiant
around the
watched the same
party.
Valiant seen the same TikTok as I did, because it
And
goes.
I
Mhm.
I always thought that was just someone that was a good guy. It doesn't need a special name.
Well, no, a guy who has
That's
a
called a
big
knight.
penis who's a one-trick pony, he could still be a good guy. It's just a party dick knows how to have fun in the bedroom, not just.
So does a savage.
So does a
Just put it in
manhole.
and let it simmer on medium heat for 5 minutes.
Well, the problem is I can't quite blame men for this. A lot of times this is on women with how men have sex. If women don't tell men this is boring, men
They'll
aren't
never
ever
learn.
going to be able to learn.
Yeah, no, a lot of men
But
just
we're
don't.
in the age of
Or
cancel
the
culture. You're
guy,
not allowed to say boring anymore. Just like
or
I'm
the
not allowed
guy.
to call my co-workers arseholes.
Well, and the guy, but then there's guys with big penises who just don't care. They're just like, eh. And yes, Val, yeah, Dragon has a good point. Communication. Having fun in the bedroom is all about communication between said people that are in the bedroom.
And grunts and growls count as a communication.
Yes.
Well,
Plus,
it's like
when you're calling it a party, it sounds like you're more referring to a fucking bukkake than you are to a one-person stand.
Yeah,
Hey,
those are dangerous. You might drown.
I do agree. Party dick is not the phrase that I would have used with that. Because to me, you
I
are
would just
totally
have
correct.
called them an expert.
Or a gymnast.
But what I'm more
They just
talking
have
about
talent.
is
Or a
there's
nerd, because what? Revenge of the Nerds. That was one of the things there right at the end.
Never watched it. I'm not going to watch it
Why not?
because
Rawg,
I
that's a
don't
lot
like
like
movies.
Rawg, that's a
Revenge.
lot like the movie that you shared with us, the gamers, the Darkness Rises. That
I've
Yeah, but
was
also
that's
never seen
funny.
that movie.
Oh,
That
Revenge
that
of
one
the
was
seems
Nerds
very
is
funny.
good.
funny.
I've never seen it.
Oh, well, yeah, you're
That
young.
sounds familiar.
Revenge of the Nerds. You need to totally see it, because
Which one?
I don't
Revenge
want
of
to
the
spoil
Nerds
it.
or Darkness Rising? Ares.
Darkness Rising was funny.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, well,
Well, I'm
there's
not
3 of them. Let's
surprised.
It's
face
like
it.
an 80s movie.
Name to everything, even when it doesn't. Yes. People nowadays need to put a name to everything, even when it doesn't need one. I mean, that's why we have so many different types of dictionaries. We have the regular dictionary, the urban dictionary, the slang dictionary. There's so many dictionaries.
I kind of feel like the Urban Dictionary would be the slang dictionary. Why don't they just combine those?
I don't know.
Holy shit, it
Well,
has Metatron in it.
Metatron?
I think
Yeah, the guy who plays Metatron in Supernatural's in that film.
Yes, he
Oh.
is. The younger version of him.
Rawg, the problem is that the Urban Dictionary has just been taken over by sex position terms.
Yeah, okay. That's kind of funny that you say that because I very rarely make any type of contribution to anything on the internet.
Speaking of
But
which,
if you
should look
go
up a Dutch
there,
mudslide.
but if you go there, if you go to the Urban Dictionary and look up Eiffel Tower, you will see a contribution made by me and my neighbor.
What? Now I gotta look.
Oh god, no, you.
Yes, I do. Urban
Oh, you're going to
Dictionary.
regret that choice.
I think she knows what an Eiffel Tower is, but
Yes, I know. I know what an Eiffel Tower is. It's very similar to spit roast.
I think it's more you're going to regret the choice because you're never going to be able to look at Rawg again without laughing.
oh, I'm
the staff
terrible.
meetings are going to not work ever again.
I'm a
Okay.
terrible person.
How am I gonna be able to find out which one was you?
It would have been the first one because we actually went there to see if it was on there because we were having a discussion about it. and it wasn't on there. So we
There's more than one, and there's a couple of different dates.
Yeah. That
ours
was
would
made
have
by
been the first one.
Josh, by N-word, by Dirty Buck Nasty.
That was definitely not me.
Bob Texan. We know how you feel about Texas, so that's not it. Big, huge, massive, juicy, wobbly tits. What the fuck? Is that when you?
That might be
That
him.
Rawg?
might be my neighbor, but
that one actually even has like a whole like speaking into it. Let's see. Yippity dunkers.
yeah, that one
There's
wasn't.
5 pages of Eiffel
It
Tower.
was we used our real our nicknames, so our real life nicknames. So
Well, I don't know what your real life nicknames are. I know what your real name is.
okay, take my name, shorten it to 4 letters.
Okay.
Oh, and replace the last letter.
With what?
Write out my name,
Mhm.
shorten it to the first 4 letters, and then replace the last letter and figure it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
There's
I get what you're
9
saying.
pages.
There's 9 pages?
Well, we're
There's
in there
more than
somewhere.
5 pages.
Oh my god. I'm not gonna spend this
It was
entire time
like it was in like 2016, 2017, maybe 2018. It was definitely I think it was 2017, 2018.
Okay, I'm finally.
Oh,
There's
there's so
2014,
many
2015.
pages.
So many pages.
But did narrowing the search make there be more? Well, I don't understand how that works.
Like there's 2003. Like there's stuff coming all the way back to 2003 on this.
Okay,
shit.
well that definitely was not us. This was like in like the last 5, 6 years.
If you send me the name that it's under, then I will sit here and I will scroll through all the pages looking for it.
Okay, let me.
Can't
I'll
you
DM
filter
to
it
you
by
now.
date?
You guys have like the same name. Just saying.
Oh yeah, I guess me and him do. His girlfriend freaks me out every time she gets on the mic and starts yelling at him.
I forgot about that.
I get like, oh shit, what I do now? Oh fuck, wait, it's not my girlfriend. Thank God, thank God. I'm glad it's somebody else.
Hold
Like,
on, I don't have a girlfriend. What the fuck
yeah,
is
it's like,
this?
wait a minute, well, I haven't
forgot
had a
about
girlfriend
that.
for a while now. Wait a minute, what the fuck? Why is this chick yelling at me? Hold on, Wolf. I gotta like find you in my DMs, cause
Can't you filter the search results so that they're sorted by date?
yeah, cause this would have definitely been like 2016, 2017 to 2018,
Oh, I totally put. I you know, fuck it. I'm done.
or
Looking at
maybe
that shit.
even 2019. But it was
What
definitely one
about
of those
London
years.
Bridge? What?
That had nothing to do with that. I don't know anything about that.
Okay, let's see.
Oh yeah, it's falling down.
London
Again?
Bridge is falling down.
I thought it was burning
Okay.
down. I'm trying to find Bucket Wolf over here, but
Oh my god, the first one on Urban Dictionary for the London Bridge is the lyrics to a Fergie song. Seriously?
where the
Simply stir
hell?
up decision about an otherwise forgettable and derivative song.
You know what? I'll
It
just.
involves 2 guys, 1 girl. One guy is holding the girl by her legs and the other by her arms. The girl is giving. Oh, so she's an actual bridge. Okay.
Got it.
Interesting. I learned so many new sexual things on this podcast.
Well, I mean, check its name.
Touche. Touche.
Yeah, you wouldn't think there was a book that's based on this, would you? Really? You know,
What,
pretty
on
sure
our
the name was it was like
podcast?
the book on sex positions before the internet was a thing, and everyone started renaming the
Mind
same
you-
fucking thing
No.
20 times.
Mind you, I will be perfectly honest. The ER is full of so many people having tried positions from that book and ending up needing to be seen at the ER because
Yep.
let's put it this way.
Because they end up with a
that-
light bulb in their ass?
Writer of that book, I don't know what. Well, first and foremost, they weren't nearly as chubby as most Americans are. And two, I guess they did
Have
a
a good night, pal.
pre-workout before sex
Bye.
with some of those.
I like me a chubby American girl.
More cushion for the pushing.
Yeah, I don't like that, but that's what they say.
Gotta find a curvy one.
Yeah,
Or
like one of those healthy like girls, like the porn girls from look like they're from the '80s or something. They got that nice healthy look to them. They don't look like they're anorexic or like they have never eaten anything other than a cheeseburger.
Had something
and
more
they
than
were
this, their daily protein shake.
I haven't seen too many muscular ones.
no Rawg, wrong protein.
Oh,
Come? What?
yeah, bukkake.
Yes.
Bukkake.
What are we talking about?
Drowning in bukkake.
Oh, that's
Ares
the name.
mentioned the girls chugging on their
Wait,
daily
what?
protein shake, and Rawg missed what that was implying.
Oh, right, yeah. Never mind. Sorry, my bad. I was thinking about something else. What was I saying? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Is it
Continue.
something about space? Because you keep telling me you want to talk about space.
I talk about space all the time. It's just like we never the subject.
Rare blue supermoon.
Oh yeah.
2.0. Show this
This
week.
is the month where we have the super moon, and it's a blue moon
That already happened.
because it's the second moon of this full moon of this month.
Yeah, that's actually what blue moon means.
Yeah, blue moon is when there's two moons in a month, full moon in 1 month. The super moon is because currently the moon is at its closest orbital to Earth.
Oh.
Damn, it looks big.
Hence the once in a blue moon.
Moon big.
Well, no, blue moon's just 2 full moons in 1 month.
Right.
Yeah, wasn't that last night and the night before?
Yeah.
It'll also be tonight too.
I saw a
Because
hunter's moon last
The
night.
full moon. Well, no, that was actually the super blue moon, Rawg.
The moon I saw did not look any different than any other time, except for it had a halo around it, which is what we call a hunter's moon.
It would have been a slight. It's hard for the human eye to fully perceive it, but it would actually
Oh,
be
no, I've
at
seen
its
the big moons.
largest.
I've seen the big ones. The super moons. I've seen those, but not
Yeah,
like
that's
the
what
one
last
last
night
night didn't.
was.
That one looked, unless it was the night before last, but it looked pretty normal, like just tiny
Nope, the
little
height
moon.
of it was last night.
Oh, well, I don't know. It might not have been last night. It might have been the night before. I don't remember. Wait, what Pokemon popped up?
It's
It's
already gone.
gone.
It's already gone.
What was
There's
it?
been none that have been. They've all been running away.
Runarius.
Yeah.
I don't know what that thing is.
I don't even think I'm throwing the Pokeballs correctly because I still have all the Pokeballs I bought recently. It's almost like it's not registering or something.
When it's the regular Pokeball, you don't need to type Pokeball.
Yeah, I know that. I did it this time because all the other times it wasn't working. So I'm wondering, like, is there something going on?
I mean, it was working on the last day.
All I know is
two
it's
Pokeballs, and I know I just bought some.
every
so it's working for me.
Pokemon that's been up has not been caught by anybody.
Yeah, that's
because I haven't been throwing my balls.
No, a lot of people have been.
Well, stop hoarding
Yeah,
your
but
balls,
I
Rawg.
haven't.
Share them. Share your balls.
If I threw my balls in there, we would catch them. But I'm just choosing not to because nobody's.
Also, you're using regular Pokeballs, which have a low catch rate anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't have enough money to
I've
buy
caught
another one.
every Pokemon that I've thrown a ball at thus far.
I used up my 3 Pokeballs, and I've just been using the Ultra Balls the entire time.
Like I sit in like Blonde Witch's channel, and I'll just be there lurking, and you earn money just by sitting in there. So I have like $12,000 just from.
Yeah, I had 11k. Fuck knows why, and I just spent most of it on Ultra Balls.
Wonder how much I got.
I still have 6 friend balls. I need to use some of my friends' balls.
Why do I still only have 7.6k?
Oh my!
Or maybe that's not what that number means. I don't know.
So, Rock.
Well, what do you want to know? I mean, I talk about space, talk about aliens, exoplanets.
This is your area. I have nothing to offer.
No, you give me a topic. Like I don't know which
I don't
one.
care.
Do you realize how much there is to do with space? Space is a very big place with a lot of things
Black
to talk
hole.
about.
Black hole.
What about a black hole? Black holes are boring.
Filled by black hole.
Killed by a black. How can you die by a black hole?
I said
You
fill.
don't.
F.
You just
Bill.
you just get.
You can't fill a black hole.
There's actually a theory that if you were to fall into a black hole, as soon as you, I
You
think it's like as soon as you
spaghettify.
hit the crust of it, like from your perspective, time just stops.
It's
and
called
you're
an event
there forever.
horizon.
Yes, I couldn't remember. It's been a while since I've had to look at it.
From your perspective, it seems like you live forever, but from everyone else, you're basically paste.
Yes.
Kind of, but it like everything outside of it would also move very slow at some point. It would look like if you're in a ship or something and you're falling into it, it would look like to everybody else, like far away, that the ship is just kind of sitting there whenever actually it's being pulled in slowly. Theoretically, anyway.
The only reason I know that is because I took an astronomy class.
But yeah, to you, everything is moving the normal speed while you're inside that ship, but actually, it's like, well, it's very, very slow. Like but because your thinking process, everything is also slow, you don't really notice a change in the speed. To you, everything's moving normal speed. Also, if you were to fall into a black hole, you theoretically would become spaghettified. They call it spaghettification. And it's where you're literally pulled into long tendrils of what looks like human spaghetti.
Interesting.
Rawg, I went through all 14 pages on there, and neither post was there. I went through twice just to make sure.
No, really? We're not there anymore? Well, shit.
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
I didn't know they took that shit down. Well, we used to be on there.
Well, they probably get a lot of new people submitting shit all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
baby.
14 pages of definitions.
Also, their Death, your comment about you cannot fill up a black hole may not be 100% accurate, because a black hole burped something out of it a couple of years ago. Actually, scientists discovered that a black hole actually burped out what they believe to be a planetoid of some kind. They don't know how it got out or what caused it, but yeah, it got sucked in and then got spit back out. Didn't make any sense. Nobody understands why.
Went down the wrong pipe, the black hole started coughing and just launched it.
Wait, did they see it go in?
Yes.
They saw it go in and then back out.
Yeah, according to what they said in the thing, yes, they saw something. Well, it actually swallowed a couple of things, I guess. But
it might not be the same planet. It might be from the other side of the black hole.
Okay, you're talking about wormhole theory, and that would mean that there would have to be a white hole somewhere for that to get spewed out of.
And
There's a theory
that
that
thing would have to survive the fucking hyper compression it would go through just to hit the fucking thing.
So there's a theory that black holes, everybody knows they suck everything in. That's that's a common thing. But theoretically, some scientists have put forth, at least a long time ago, this theory's been around for a while, that white holes would also exist, which would be kind of what Jack said, the theory of like a wormhole, where it's just similar to a black hole, but instead spewing matter outward, which black holes actually do spew a lot of radiation out, but that's a whole other topic. Anyways,
try to read the radiation to find out where a black hole is.
that's the only way we can find out where a black hole is by reading the radiation, because
I remember it had something to do with the
when it's
radiation.
actively feeding.
light gets sucked in by it. Like, it's so powerful that light can't even escape it. So there's no way to tell where it is. Like, the way humans see shit is using light reflection and shit. Everything you've ever seen is the reason you saw it is because light reflected off of it and bounced into your eyes. Black holes don't do that. Also, a black hole is not. I don't think a black hole is what a lot of people think it is. Like, a lot of people think that it's like a ripped open in the space time continuum and it just sucks everything in. A black hole's more easily understood, I guess, what we know about them from what I've gathered about them is, how the sun has a gravitational pull, or Earth, or any other planet or planetoid in our solar system or anywhere else has a gravitational pull. Like, if you get too close to it, it's going to pull you down. A black hole is generally the result of a supernova, or I think they're called meganovas, which are even bigger than a supernova. It's where a star dies and collapses in on itself. A black hole isn't actually like a portal or anything. It's just, you can think of it as a super, super dense sun or planet that doesn't give off any light. In fact, it pulls the light in because the gravitational pull's that strong. That's more closely to what a black hole actually is. It's just incredibly dense compared to everything else in the universe, the known universe anyway.
Isn't the super black holes, aren't they the ones that put out the gamma ray bursts?
Yeah, but a lot of other things can too. Yeah, there's black holes, pulsars, or no, quasars. But yeah, black holes occasionally shoot out like very, very intense beams of like gamma radiation, or, well, there's several different types of radiation a black hole can spew. But if you're talking about like the beams, the ones that I think it's a quasar or a pulsar can emit, which is something else that can happen whenever a sun dies. It's where there's like two beams of intense light shooting out of what amounts
Right.
to a small glowing orb, and it spins super, super fast, like way fast, even by the size of it is. If you watch our planets orbit the sun, you would say, wow. Like, I mean, if you were physically sitting out there in a spaceship somewhere watching, you would say, wow, those are moving really fucking slow. But even these things, the beam that shoots out, one on each side, moves so fast that it looks like a strobe light. And if one of those, what's up?
I think there's like a theory that the Great Dying might have been partially caused by one of those
Yeah, that
getting
was
across the surface of Earth.
the
Like,
next
not a
thing I was going
direct
to say.
shot.
That would, it would literally cook whatever side of the earth it hit. You would instantly get the worst sunburn of your life, and then die a very slow, painful death due to radiation poisoning, where you start bleeding from every orifice in your body, and including your eyes and ears, and your skin starts to slough off. Unfortunately, if you live that long, that's very unfortunate, because that's a really, really painful way to go. If you're lucky, though, it'll kill you instantly.
Right. I
But it's
remember
not.
hearing that they think that what might have caused the Great Dying, where 90% of all life on the planet Earth died, was caused by, I don't think a full blast of a gamma ray burst, but definitely a partial blast.
They suggested that it was a full blast. The only thing that didn't get hit would have been things in the deepest parts of the ocean. We're talking like the Challenger Deep, Marianas Trench Deep, like
Right.
a couple of miles down.
The
Sharks also died. The only thing that I think lived through the Great Dying that she's talking about were trilobites, I think.
No, those died out. Enough survived that the Earth was able to reset, but we lost a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I
like
think
I
it was
said,
90% of all
90%
life.
of all life on land and sea died.
Or
But
97.
either way, there was enough for the world to restart. But
And
the
no, I
problem
think
is,
everything
it's
on land died. It was the only thing that lived was the shit that was deepest in the sea.
well, no, because um the creatures that are around there were actually the thing that led up to us mammals. Those are our
Yeah.
really distant
Well,
ancestors, but they were um
I don't know how they could have lived on land. I mean, we're talking about something that you also with the type of beam we're talking about. There is no warning. Like it's not like we see an asteroid coming. Oh, hey everybody, there's going to be an asteroid that hits the Earth, so you better get all the toilet paper and pack it away. This thing is literally traveling at the speed of light. There's no way to know that it's coming. It could
right.
literally happen right now, and half of the world would be fried, and there would be the only way we would know it happened is if everybody on in Europe just all of a sudden stopped communicating with everybody in North America. That's the only way we would know something really bad happened. Like we would have that little of a warning and wouldn't know what was happening. But there is a theory that there's a star not too awful far away. I don't remember what the hell it was called. It was a binary star system, one of them. There's two stars, not counting both of the stars in that binary star system. But whenever they go, there's a chance that the Earth might get that beam drug across one side of it and potentially kill everything on one side of the planet. If the beam lasts longer, it'll kill, well, people on the other side too, but it's only going to heavily destroy one side of the planet, whatever side it hits. Also, you will see the northern lights everywhere, including the equator. So if you live in Mexico and you walk outside one night and see the northern lights for some reason, well, I would say go back inside, but at that point it's too late. You're going to start to feel burning on your skin. You're going to be like, what the fuck? I came outside at night. Why do I got a sunburn? And then you die.
Yep.
Because you
And
get
then it's no longer
microwaved.
your problem.
Yeah, but like it's not the same type of radiation that a lot of people know of. That's like, oh, if they nuked, if like another country or whatever nuked a different country with like nuked one of their cities or whatever, that city remains highly radioactive. It doesn't work that way. Not with this. This is like I mean, it's the same type of radiation, but it acts differently. It's not going to leave the ground highly radioactive where it hit. It's just going to go through, and that's it. Like, it's going to go, I don't know how deep into the Earth's crust it can go. So the area that gets, well, hit with this isn't going to be highly radioactive. The only thing that happens is if you're in it, you're dead. But if you're like, hey, I always wanted to know what it was like to live in Australia. I think I'll go now. That everything's dead, and you can do that, and it wouldn't hurt you. Although, I don't know if that's really a wise idea. At least as far as I've known and read about these things, and I've read a lot about these things, the radiation's different. It's not fused with anything like the way uranium, plutonium, and other
It's a
like
very
isotopes like
short-lived
that.
radiation.
And also, you'd have
Interesting.
to deal with a whole bunch of dead, stinky bodies everywhere. And in a place like Australia, they would bake in the sun and get worse.
Yeah, Australia would become a wasteland for a whole different reason.
Yeah, nobody
Just
would
feed them to the
ever go there.
spiders. It's fine.
The spiders would also be dead. We're talking about shit that there's a decent chance that even the cockroaches won't live. That's how intense this beam can be. Sorry, I went off on a tangent.
No, you're good.
You said space, so
That's space. You
I
you
also
did.
remembered a random funny story from when I took my space class in college.
Oh yeah, and what's that?
The teacher I had tended to wear a lot of shirts related to whatever he was teaching,
Mhm.
and the
So
very
you
last
had a Mrs. Frazzle, or
yes, and the very last section that he taught before we had our final was about the life of a star, or like through like the whole life cycle. And he wore a shirt explaining, because there's two different paths that it could take, and he had a shirt explaining it all. And he said that on the exam, about 58% of the answers on the exam are sitting on his shirt. And he said that he's never seen anybody wear that shirt, and he's never seen it on a website before. And he challenged us that nobody could find it. So me being a smartass, I found it in about 10 minutes, bought it, and walked into class the next week wearing it, and took the exam with the shirt on. People were like studying off of my shirt. If I ever needed, and like if I ever like was stumped on a question, I could just look down and it'd be there.
Oh my
well, dude,
God,
space
that's
is
funny.
easy to study. I mean,
Yeah, just look up.
yeah, you don't really need to cheat with that one. I mean,
No, it was an easy test, but it was really funny though that
oh yeah,
the first
definitely.
time he's ever seen anybody else wear that shirt was because I was being a smartass. I still have it.
No, you being a smartass?
No, never.
Never.
I still have the shirt. And occasionally we do like weekend things where I get to see him again, and I try to like bring that shirt just every now and again.
Don't mind me, guys. I keep checking over on my homework and working on my homework here and there. If you guys
You got time
don't
to do homework. Do it
know,
Sunday.
no, this has to be turned in by midnight. Oh, yeah.
Then do it at 11:45.
I have to do a business plan, and
Well,
and
do it at 11:30.
so I had to think of a product or service.
You already have
And
one.
yes, Ares keeps trying to talk me into doing the Wankmaster 3000, but I go to a very conservative business school, and I don't
don't
want
see
to
the
Double word
issue.
for boring.
and I don't want to be marked down for the topic of, because I have a few topics that I could use that aren't necessarily well,
family
they're
friendly.
yeah, they're definitely not suitable for that. No wonder.
You're in
Not,
college. They're adults. They're fine.
oh yes, so if I
Yeah,
put
they're
in a
mature.
discussion board that my product is the Wankmaster
Oh, Aries.
3000.
Turns out, in like 3 weeks, you're taking all your projects and you're making like a whole thing with sketches and you're presenting it to the class.
Well,
Just get a flashlight.
at the end of this class, I have to do a video talking about my business plan.
I agree with Aries. I think you need to do the Wankmaster.
See,
No.
you're saying conservative. I'm hearing boring. When I had to do presentations, I always did the weird shit, and mine was always the stuff that was remembered.
Well,
No,
You
I
have to
think
make the class fun.
All right. I think one thing you need to realize is I think when she says conservative, she means it's Christian.
well, no, it's not Christian. It's conservative.
Christians aren't conservative.
Well, no, but there's a difference between Christians are generally conservative, yes, but no, they're generally not or they're not really Christian. There might be some Christians in there. Christians would go to this school. How about that?
Why
You
do
are
people
correct.
name their
When
cake
is
I'm
this due? It is
remembering the one
due
correctly.
tonight at midnight.
So in like
Eh,
2
It's
hours.
just every time someone
1
says
hour.
Christian,
Yeah,
I'm
2 hours.
try. It just gets that much more difficult for me to keep my mouth shut.
I know, Ares. No, you're not gonna do it all for me. I talked to Kyle. Kyle gave me a good idea that I'm going with. Because I really
My name's not Kyle.
no. Well, okay. Rawg also gave it a good one.
Mine's
LARPing.
better than Kyle.
Yours was the LARPing arena. That one would be harder for me to, because there would be a bunch of different barriers because of how limited the market is. Because yes,
Limited?
yes, very limited. Because it's not like people go out and LARP all the time. Generally, they just go to events. So having a LARPing arena, I would literally have to make sure I would have to reach out to many different events to pull them in.
I don't even remember what LARPing is.
Live action
Live action
role-playing.
roleplay.
And then the renting of the costume, once getting there, yes, selling the renting or even purchasing of costumes and these weapons and stuff would
Just
be
make a
easy.
D&D arena.
Well,
That's pretty much what it
basically
is.
would be.
Exactly. So just call it D&D and you'll attract more people.
Yeah, and if they're Christian, they love their dungeons.
Yeah. And
God damn it! I try
fighting
so hard to keep my mouth shut as well.
and fighting the great
No,
Satan.
stop. Yeah, our podcast does better when you don't hold back. Except for when you decide to try and take on Beyonce and her community. Mine was called synergistic advertising.
Well, you got to create the fucking like. Okay, in my
I'm
area,
just creating
there
a business
was
plan.
in my area, nobody like whenever I was younger, like barely anybody did paintball. But then paintball, like I don't know, battlefield or arena or what the fuck ever, opened up like not in my immediate area, but kind of close by, and then all of a sudden everybody got into paintball.
Paintball
Like-
is fun.
true.
Like
Paintball is fun, but I feel like airsoft is more fun.
It depends on the arena.
I prefer
It
paintball.
does.
And
but
also,
I've
as for
done-
taking
like
on
what I'm
beyond,
saying is, you would like create the client base in the area that you would open it up in. That was my point.
Well, see, and LARPing I think is mainly our generation. I think
No, a lot of people
VTubers.
do it.
I don't know. There's not. I don't believe there's gonna be a lot of boomers in it, and maybe the generation below us. What is that? Gen
VTubers
Z?
is just LARPing for degenerates.
What is it?
VTubers.
VTubers, that's LARPing for degenerates.
What's a
But
VTuber?
people who
I will
like
say
an animated
actually,
persona.
LARPing is still a rather big thing that's been going on. I mean,
Look at the world we live in. Everybody has to be something special. They have to be a kitten paw or a puppy tail or some other wild, crazy shit that they just come up with on the spot.
Yeah, but that's Comic
You're-
Con. You don't see
yeah.
a whole bunch of furries running around whacking each other.
I'm not. No, that's
Yeah, you
that's
say
not
that.
what I mean. That's not what I mean. I mean what people identify as type of shit. Like they identify as a transsexual with 5 penises and 7 testicles, or like some like wild out there shit. You're literally creating an environment where these people can go and live out their weird fantasies.
You're basically
mean, look
making an
at-
Elder Scrolls Online in reality.
Yes.
Spanx, that would be so fun.
A good
Do-
thing to kind of look at it, Beth, is also all the Renaissance Festival areas
That too.
Well, yeah,
and how
I have to go to
big-
another Renaissance. It was fun.
yes, that just opened up.
no,
couple
it's actually
weekends ago.
closing down.
No, it
I
isn't.
think it's okay.
No, it doesn't close down till the first weekend in October.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
it
open
just
for like all of
opened up.
September.
Yep, it opened up August 19th, 20th.
Okay, I could have sworn it ended sooner, but that's cool.
No, because I remember looking it up. It's open for like all of September because I might go
Isn't
this
there
year.
like
'cause
2
I
or
went a few
3
years
of them? Well, goodbye.
Hi,
Isn't
Me and
there
my
bye.
like
roommates are thinking on going to that with me working on planning out costumes.
isn't there like 2 or
Well,
3?
hey, maybe I'll see
I
you
have
there.
an outfit. I have an outfit. But
Well,
I
our
don't like going unless I don't
so
like dressing
far
up unless
me
other
and
people dress up with me.
my roommate's girlfriend are planning. I'm planning to go up as a lunar moth fairy, and she's gonna be a bumblebee fairy. And we're trying to talk my roommate into going as a adventurer type person who's been captured by the fairies.
Berries? I thought Ren
I
fairs were
feel
about
like
They got kidnapped by
the.
the
a wizard,
YMCA.
instead of a staff, it's just like a sword.
There's a lot more to it. A lot of fantasy has hit the Renaissance festivals.
Man, I feel
Yeah.
like there's some diehard Renaissance fans out there that really hate that.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm sure there are. I don't
The
care.
worst thing about Renaissance like fairs is when people dressed up as like Star Trek characters show up.
Oh, I know.
That is weird.
I'm like, that's not what
Or
this is
Star
about.
Wars. Like you'll see Chewie
That's
walking
Comic
down
Con.
a fucking like.
Yeah, that makes
thing,
no
like-
sense.
That's not Chewie, that's Sasquatch, goddammit, and he's got a message for the king.
Now, like,
That's not Chewie, that's your French wife.
Okay, I could see Rawg dressing up as Chewbacca to be a Renaissance
and have a
Bigfoot.
scroll thing that says give to the king.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
and
queen, I'm sorry. King or queen.
I will make
monarch.
myself look more like a troll, not a Chewbacca. I'll be like, I'm a bridge troll. I have come with
There
a
is a
message
bridge
for
troll
the king.
at ours. He'll sit and play his.
But I'll be like a troll from like Skyrim with like 3 eyes. And
I
like,
saw a lot of little girls dressed as fairies at the Renaissance Fair once.
okay, I thought you were gonna say you saw a lot of little girls with 3 eyes. I was gonna say, well, that's fucking weird, but
Yeah, I mean, Alabama, inbreeding's probably caught up to them.
I'm just stopping in quick to kind of like say, so the LARPing thing is actually a super cool idea, because I was just kind of typing in there, but I don't know if you saw it or whatever. But
I did.
yeah, so like a guy basically bought like a giant piece of land, and now he's doing it like in several different states and everything. But he went out and he bought a giant piece of land, and then he bought like a big backhoe, a big dump truck, and like all these
hell
like
yeah.
toys that like you would play in a sandbox when you were a kid. But he bought the real life size version of them, and then he turned it into kind of like a theme park. You would come and pay like a bunch of money, and
Get the
then you would
drive.
yeah, you literally got to drive around a dump truck and got to use a giant backhoe and all this kind of stuff and play around with these big giant like excavation stuff just on this empty piece of land that he bought. And yeah, he sold it like a kind of like a theme park kind of thing. So you
Yeah,
could kind
that
of do the
must-
same thing with the LARPing, is just you get a giant piece of land and just do it like a D&D thing. You rent out the stuff there and all that, and yeah. It's a cool idea, actually.
That would be a lot of fun, at least for me personally, because I already know how to run half of that equipment just from previous jobs.
He's over
Yeah,
there like,
yeah.
man, I'll go over there and drive that backhoe.
Well, see, the only thing that would be tough with LARPing is because it also talked about the renting of the weapons, the safe weapons.
Yeah.
And so that would be a big startup cost on top of the renting of the place.
Just buy a lot of foam.
But
Well,
isn't there
yes and-
any large startup costs for any business?
Well,
though?
yes, there is. But like that would be a continuous type thing. But I guess with the
Well, one thing you could do
Mhm.
is you could like as a first startup have it as there's a certain cost for renting your equipment, or if they bring their own equipment, they get a bit of a discount type of thing. So then you would get more people bringing their own equipment because you're
Yes,
giving such a
but
big
I
discount.
would
And if they don't bring their own equipment,
And-
they can get it through a loot box system.
And then
There you
yeah.
go. Yeah, just
And
do
then,
that, Death.
And then to avoid, because you're right, the startup cost is kind of high, but if you can find like a party place that will rent it out to you, then what you could do is you can kind of pass that along. So you'd have like the rental system would be you got to book, say,
Okay,
3 weeks in
so
advance.
LARPing weapons, because I need this. If this has to be
Plus, there's gonna be like theaters and places like
rental.
that have props and shit
Yeah.
that they're just gonna be chucking away that they
So
would probably just give to you.
yeah. So
Dumpster diving.
for your clients, you would have like a rule that they have to book the LARPing arena 3 weeks to a month in advance, and that gives you enough time, and like how many people are coming. Like they got to give you all this information.
But see,
Once you
if
have,
you but then you're okay. That's very limiting of your market though. If they actually have to rent the whole arena.
no, but you can. So say you got a giant space, right? You can segment the space into say 4 arenas or something like that, too, right? But I'm just saying, like, if you're able to segment and you have like say 10 people are renting this one arena, and they need equipment, then it's like, okay, well, if you need equipment, you have to book this far in advance, and that gives you time to rent the equipment for them, and then you just pass on that price to your clientele,
Well,
and
yeah,
then you rent it.
I understand. I'm business major,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I understand all that, but I don't I don't see it being able to sell how you want it to with that. Because generally with the LARPing community, what hits big is events. And so I don't see like I see maybe one or two people like, oh, let's go and go
Yeah,
LARPing, but
do like
not
the
one or two.
Orcs Invade event and give Ares a crossbow, and he can be
Right.
the orc, and then like everybody that shows up's got to fight him,
Oh
but
my
because of the
God.
way he is, he'll just
He'll
kill
just wipe them
everyone.
out.
Like,
Well,
God
Yeah, but
damn, that's
see,
a hell of a strong. How many orcs are hiding over the other side of that hill? What the fuck?
Well,
you
so
say
then,
crossbow,
okay,
but I'll
so I
probably
see what you're
fucking
saying.
convert
So
into a
then what you
repeater.
would do, because yeah, you could do different events. One event, like one month or 1 week, could be like D&D based. Another one could be Lord of the Rings based. Another one could be like doing events like that, and that's fine because then you can book ahead. And then I would say, instead of having because instead of doing a large upfront cost to have and then store all this like equipment, is just incorporate into your costs and everything the rental of that you have to take on, because you
Or
can rent it from another company yourself.
well,
There is another
or
alternative, which I'm pretty sure is already done, is to have it running
Yeah.
20, and it's region dependent, is to have it running 24/7. People just walk in, walk out as they want.
Yeah.
um or where I don't have to touch the rental whatsoever. I don't have to touch any of the weapons. Have a company that sells these, have them rent an area to set up so they can rent or sell their product in my arena.
yeah.
Yeah, you could do
Ins-
that. I mean,
Instead, but because then all that cost is not on me and all I get is rental money.
like I would just treat it like how McDonald's started, essentially, right? So McDonald's technically started as a real estate company, right? So you go and find the area to do it in, or you buy like the big piece of land and then segment it into sections for different arenas and all this stuff. And that's your big cost, right? And then yeah, just on like the days that you do these events, and say like this small section can fit from 10 to 50 people, and then so then you just rent just for that day, and then you have the company that rents it out bring it out to the spot and everything, and you have enough for 50 people, and then you just rent it for the day and it's there, and then the people come and they do events and everything, and after the day's done, the company comes back, picks up all their shit, and then just disappears. Then all you have to worry about is literally your land and managing your clientele, because then like the rental of the equipment, yeah, you're just letting it worry about the company that you're renting from. So you just need to rent for the max amount of people that you're letting into your arena or whatever, in that specific arena type of thing.
The other thing that you're kind of missing, Death, is that right now there's not a lot of places that the LARPers can LARP at.
Exactly.
Yeah, they get thrown out
They
of parks.
Right. They can't
They
they're
do.
not able to get permits.
Yeah.
There's very few spaces that they can actually LARP at. I guarantee you, if you offer a space for people to LARP at, you're going to have all the events that normally try to haphazard take place in some park where before a Karen calls the police on them will
Yeah.
suddenly come to you and be like, when can we rent? Please let us rent.
Yeah, just focus on the space itself. And truly, like 90% of LARPers already have all their own equipment anyways.
Yeah,
Like
and
they
most
already
of
make up
the
all their stuff
groups
everyways, and that
most of the
they're just
LARPer
looking for a
communities
space to do it.
they have rules for their equipment. They already have safety standards for their equipment.
Yeah, there's some
You
kind of
could
a federation or some shit of LARPers, international or
God damn, I keep
national LARPer
it
fucking
just if
group.
you
I
offer
don't
the
know what the fuck
LARP
they're called.
it's a quote from that baseball movie. I can't remember what it was, but if you build it, they will come, and I promise you with LARPers, yes. They are the one thing the LARPer community is desperate for is a space that they can safely LARP
Yeah.
without Karens calling them and
Yeah.
on the
They
police on them.
maintained and taken
That
care
film,
of,
isn't that the
and
one
that
where the
they
kid
won't
fell off
be
the
bothered.
spectator stand and broke his
Like
neck?
the thing is like
And if it does really, really well, you can like start adding on and like building like a tavern and like a fucking like a weapon shop and like all that shit. You know, use some of your revenue to build that shit if it does
And
really well.
basically make a
Then you won't
second
need to, because
Renaissance
most of them will
festival.
volunteer to do that work for you.
again, think about it as
Sure.
like try and like I keep going back to McDonald's, but McDonald's had like the best like freaking business plan route ever. Like they kept it stupid simple, right? They were real estate, and then the actual restaurants themselves, they started off with soft drink, fries, and a burger. That's it. Like just keep it stupid simple, right? So what is the LARPers looking for? They're literally just looking for a place to do it, that they're not going to get in trouble while doing it. They're not going to have people calling on them, and it's a place that's maintained and safe. So literally just focus on that. Just find a spot that you maintain for them, that they are able to rent from you, and that's it. Like that's how you start off. And then yeah, if they don't have equipment, it's like, oh shit, sorry, maybe some of the other LARPers in your group have extra equipment that they can do. Because right now I don't offer that because I'm just starting out as it's a startup company. And then as you grow and start revenue, then that's when you start adding on equipment rental, and then like everybody else
Well,
said,
and I could
start
also do
building a
like
shack, and then like
rooms for smaller groups, and then have a big arena that's basically for public.
yeah.
Yeah, call it the Coliseum.
And you could, even if you didn't want to provide, the other thing you could do is if you didn't want to provide the weapons, you could literally just say, here's, you get in touch with the companies that make the weapons and say, hey, I have a space for the LARPers to play, but I don't want to provide the weapons. Is there a way we can work together where I send you guys people to buy equipment
And you get
and
kickbacks.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Or
we
not
could
even
offer
that,
disc.
like
Yeah.
not even
Well,
that. You can be like, hey, do
Once
you
you-
have a rep that can come out on the days that I'm hosting my events, and then they can like do all the talking for me, and like and
well,
then
they
you
can
have the
even set up
rep
a
there.
booth.
And
Exactly.
I
once
just
you
have them
build
set
your
up a
fantasy
booth.
town, you can just have one of those people come out there and work, and you get a cut of their profits.
Yep.
Like have like a weapons smith shop or
And it doesn't even
whatever,
have to
like an
be that
armor shop.
high of a cut. You just because generally LARPing
Because
equipment is generally
they get
pricey, so you get
advertisement and reach more
5%.
people, and you get money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, it's like a
Now I-
win-win-win.
But
And Ares gets to shoot at nerds with a crossbow. So
you're thinking like
I'm
5-10
thinking,
years down the road at this point. Like I'm thinking startup, you're literally just need a land that you maintain and keep well that they
well,
can
no,
do it in. And that's it.
not land. This would be indoor.
Or whatever. Yeah.
'Cause I live
Indoor?
in Michigan.
Why? No, not
Oh,
indoors. Indoor LARPing
no.
never works.
No, you don't want to do indoor. It has to be
Well,
outdoor.
but see, I can't
I get
with
what she's-
Michigan. I can't do outdoor.
Why?
She would.
You don't have trees?
Winter.
She wants to be able to do a year-round thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
but see,
well.
Yeah.
you underestimate the commitment of LARPers.
Yeah,
I-
exactly. I was like, people
But
don't
see-
LARP in the winter? I mean, I've done that. Like, what do you...
There's also sadists that like to go out and camp. Like, they're not LARPers or anything. They just really like to go out and test themselves. They go
Okay.
out and camp in the
But,
middle of
okay,
fucking winter just to prove they
other
can
things
do
to
it.
think about though
I've
is
also done
the reason
that.
why they aren't allowed to do this stuff on parks is insurance purposes.
Well, yeah, you'd have to have them sign
So-
a waiver and shit.
So, but if I
Well-
do pure land, how the hell do I keep people off my land that haven't signed a waiver?
Keep it
No
posted.
trespassing sign.
Yeah.
yeah,
Posted.
yeah, because
Yeah,
people.
no, you build like a simple fence around it that just looks like a fence that is like farmers put up or whatever. And you just
Simple
have no
hell, juice
trespassing.
that motherfucker.
That's how people get fucking sued though. People hop the fence. People break into other people's houses. And
That's why you
sue
juice it.
those people.
Death, it's an
Yeah, but
event filled with people with swords, battle axes, and shit. Just use them as the security guards.
Well, no, I mean when it's not like have an event. I mean just in the
Yeah.
winter,
But
it's
that's
not going to be as busy. No matter what, LARPers aren't going to be there every fucking day. No
Well, that's
matter
where
what.
the town will come in.
but
Well,
and
no,
then
not in the
also-
beginning. I'm not going to have a town. If
But
I get
also-
ruined by
Well-
fucking people suing me right in the beginning, there's no 5 years down the road.
Okay.
It's
First
But
America,
also
you're gonna
that's
get
what
sued at some
saying
point
is, like,
anyway.
have those signs everywhere, because then that kind of keeps you. So
That
if somebody does break in, you can sue them and be
You're-
like, "Yo, I had signs everywhere that said no trespassing, and you trespassed."
That doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot. People still have won cases for breaking into other people's houses, and they've won insurance claims.
So I
Because they hurt
actually had
themselves
to do
in
with
the
this once. I
person's
had
home.
an employer.
That's the
that
issue with the
people were
country, not the
trespassing,
event.
Oh
and
yeah,
they
but I
got
gotta
hurt
think that
while
way though.
trespassing. And they
Well-
tried to sue the owner of the property because they just ignored the trespassing signs. But because they had all the signs up saying, "Hey, this is private property. Like you're not supposed to be here," blah blah blah. The people who own the property won the case because they had signs up and they could prove that they had signs up and the signs were cleared out, and it was very easy to tell that that is private property
There you go.
and they were not supposed to be there, and all the fencing was up to date and everything.
Yeah. What you do is you would need to have high fencing, like privacy fencing type stuff. And
And run
he-
juice
here
through
in
it.
Michigan, it is true.
Red juice through.
Most places are very much, if you cross onto property that is clearly listed, there is a set limits to it, of you have to have the signs at these intervals.
Yep.
Almost
There's-
no one has won any lawsuit here in Michigan when they are going on private property and they're not supposed to be
And
there.
whatever those intervals are,
Only
how far
time-
apart, cut that in half and post them at those.
The only
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
the trespasser can win the lawsuit is if they get hurt because of something was in disarray, like if the
Yeah.
fence was worn down and was like falling apart, or if the
Or if-
signs were worn down and hard to read, or like bushes were overgrowing.
Or if
the
there
signs
was
and you
land,
couldn't see them.
so again, the upkeep on, let's say, we'll go 5 acres, and that's not even that big. So I have to keep up on 5 acres, fence it off, private property, and trying to think of an area where this would be well in, because if it's surrounded by trees, that's gonna be a pain in the ass to keep up on it. So
Well, no, because you bring the fence in by like 5 feet.
I'm just
Where I'm from, we just use the trees as fence posts if they're running along the line where we're putting the fence.
Def,
Yeah,
I
but
can actually tell you the labor because I used to work at a farm where we had just under 2 acres. Again, this was in Florida, so the grass grew a little bit faster. But even up here in the summer, our like you'll have to mow. Like, say if you were mowing, you'd have to mow the grass every say 2 weeks, or like
Yep.
to maintain stuff. And so like say you mowed every 2 weeks for just under 2 acres, it'll take about 8, depending on how flat it is and what equipment you're using, it's going to take about 8 hours to mow it.
for
So
2
that
acres?
depends on, yes, because that's what it took on the farm.
What kind of mower are you fucking using? Holy
We
shit.
were using a 0-turn mower and a
Okay. Well, if you've
Not
been
to
to my
mention
dad's, right?
that's like that
yes.
probably didn't have foot traffic as well. That's going to have people tramping down paths all over the place, making it a bit quicker doing that.
My
There's
dad
also a
owns
lot of trees on the farm as well.
my
So
my, my
there's
dad
a lot of
owns. Okay, yeah. Okay, that would be a big difference because my dad owns about 4 acres, and I could mow that about 2-3 hours.
Yeah, so
It also
I
depends on the mower you're using because we had to
0 degree.
use like a brush hog that kept like bogging down and stuff, so we had to go
Oh.
slow.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that'll
like
do it.
I would say you're trying to find
And
a
there is
piece
another
of
way to make it
land.
cheaper again. Section off the
I would
land and
say
use
you're trying
parts
to
of
find
it
a
for
piece of
sanctuary
land
for
that's
stuff like donkeys and horses and use them to mow the grass, and then when they're down, rotate into another part of the area.
You
Like
would want
goats
actually goats. You'd actually probably
or
could get
sheep.
because
Actually, sheep are better for eating grass.
Oh my
right.
god, now I'm not
Yeah,
taking
but
care
then
of
No, no,
fucking
no, no.
Yeah,
sheep,
but I'm going
guys.
off a rescue sanctuary so
I'm
that
saying-
she'd be get.
I was
people
just talking about this
listen.
at work. You gotta buy sheep.
People,
No, see, you're going about
Then
buying
you can-
animals. I'm going about a rescue sanctuary so that she gets the funding for that as well.
and you can rent the mules out as pack mules and the horses out for the adventurers
Oh
to
my
ride.
god. Oh my
I'm
god.
thinking
guys.
no. Like I'm thinking you're trying to find a piece of land that's like 5 to 10 acres. At least like a quarter to a half of it is like forestry.
Ooh,
Because they're gonna want to like play in the forest and
Or-
all that kind of stuff too.
or
Okay,
or
but
if it's a Welsh role play, you can get the sheep and rent them out to those people.
oh my god,
God.
Rog.
Deathkitten,
No,
And then-
Rog.
We're
And
getting
then,
the
uh,
but
cows, the
Spanks,
sheep,
if
the horses.
Spanks,
Or
if
if
you
we're in
go with
Alabama, just get their
it-
cousins to dress up as sheep.
Oh my god. Oh fuck. Um, if I do part in forestry though, then my costs go up with having to keep things cleaner.
how so?
Trees fall down.
Trees
But
also
the
need to be
adventurers
tree-
will
tree-
the
trees-
adventurers
But-
will collect the wood from the fallen
But
tree and
no,
burn that
but
in the
no,
fire.
But no, but then they get hurt, and then I have insurance claims.
And that's what the waivers are for.
That's why you have
Waivers
clerics
don't-
on hand.
Waivers don't cover everything, though.
That's why you have clerics and elven rangers on hand, because they can help heal those people up and you're good to go.
Yeah, not to mention
Well,
they got
so-
injured while
well, okay.
LARPing. Tell them to stop LARPing and the
in
injury
case,
just goes
also
away.
hire a necromancer.
Because what I'm thinking is like you'll have one building on here on the land where that's where you do all of your intake and all that kind of stuff. On that building, you could even have it as part home, and you could even live on the land.
Okay,
then they're
and wow,
even-
okay, but here's my argument. Why can I not do this in like an arena? Like have an indoor arena. What is so
Because
bad in indoor
it's
the
arena?
not as
prices.
immersive.
It's not as immersive. The people won't like it as much, and then the costs go up way more.
Yeah,
Because you're
having-
spending
LARPers
more
want
money.
to
But
live
if
in the moment. Like,
Well,
they
but
want to
Kev,
smell the trees
you
and the
have
fresh
to-
air
you have
and
to
pretend
think
like
of it
they're
this way.
elves.
And it's
You
not just
have-
that.
if
A
you
group of
have
people
an
inside of a
indoor
building is a
arena-
lot fucking louder than a group of people in a field.
Right.
And
You
then
have to
I'm
also
thinking,
worry about paying for electricity,
yep.
heating, cooling. It
I would just
would
keep it warm enough
go
so
a
that
Because then
lot
I'm-
up.
freeze.
Because the big open area is what I'm thinking is eventually down the line, instead of like building all these buildings up front, your first like few structures or whatever will be like almost like a little tiny campsite. where like there's a fire pit area. So then if these LARPers want to do like a weekend thing where they're staying an entire weekend and they're pitching up like these actual like tents and everything that are like old school like vinyl tents, you can do that, and then there's a cost for that, and then the cost is a lot higher and everything, and then like you can branch off into that area type of thing where instead of just a day or a couple hours, you can rent it out for an entire weekend, and they're staying there and they're cooking on the firewood. And then those fallen trees that you're talking about, you can hire somebody to come in and deal with all those fallen trees and cut it up into firewood, and then sell the firewood to the LARPers for their firewood and camping over
And it's
the
not
weekend.
just that, it's like being in the forest, and I can attest to this as well because I've done it. A lot of people would prefer to be making their houses or homes or whatever, their shelters in forests and using the stuff that nature has out in that area as opposed to bringing lumps of plastic with them into a building.
Yeah.
I just don't see a whole bunch of people wanting to come out in the fucking winter.
That's the thing, though. You're looking at it from the perspective of how you want it, not how the LARPers want it.
I can say,
I hate
being Canadian up in the winter and everything, me and like 20 others would go out winter camping all the time and all that kind of stuff. So
okay, well then I guess I gotta look on where I would fucking have a LARPing arena in Michigan.
Because the whole point of doing the business thing is not it's not being in your shoes the entire time and seeing how you want to do it. You have to put in the shoes of your potential customers.
and then you can look at it like starting off with like that 5-10 acres is perfect, and then you can look down the line if it does take off and everything. Your expansion could be, okay, well, if there's another 10 acres beside me, I can buy that, and then that'd be a second arena. And then if there's another 10 acres beside that, I'd buy that, and then that's another
Also,
arena.
what Ares said is true. That's why a lot of businesses fail, is because the developer or the person doesn't think about what their customers want. They think about how they want it, and that's why a lot of big businesses fail.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll run with this and see what I can do.
And yeah, but like the extra fields, like once you expand out into them, they can be sold as DLC expansion packs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You want, a dungeon? Make one like a dungeon with a loot chest, like you said. Oh my god! For the extra with the extra cost, I would literally put a loot chest in there.
Also, Death, you have to think of it this way. You could then open this up and do Halloween events. And you could open it.
I'd have to
Have
think
you
of a whole
ever
bunch
played
of
D&D?
No.
Like,
I'm not even we can never find a good DM.
The undead are very, very popular.
So D&D, like there's literally themes of D&D too and everything. So like, for example, I have friends that used to write for Wizard of the Coast, and I was writing for Wizard of the Coast too. So I had one friend that wrote an entire Halloween D&D session, and so it was all about like horror and everything. So in October time you could run an event that's all based around Halloween type of thing. Christmas time you could do like a horror Christmas thing or like whatever.
Or a normal Christmas thing if you didn't want to add in horror to it.
No, but like
yeah, and going by Spanx's standards, you can do in the springtime. You can do like the fucked up like horror Easter bunny that comes in and like plants like crops and stuff, and then whatever harvest season comes, the Grim Reaper shows up to reap his harvest during bunny years.
That's kind of what I was more meaning.
The reason why I was thinking
open it
horror
up
and
for
Christmas.
kids.
The reason why I was thinking horror of Christmas is like because with D&D there's always like a raid boss and all that kind of stuff, and like there could be like you think it's Santa and you're going to like get your presents with Santa and everything, and Santa turns out to be a giant ogre that's infesting this cave, and you actually have to defeat him to get your loot that's in the giant sack behind him, and like
or you could just do normal Christmas. I mean, you already have the elves on staff. I mean, you might as well double them down and use them for that too.
I think you just need to get real weapons and see what happens.
Yeah, give me a real
I can-
crossbow. I'll help Ares.
I can recommend a person.
So, like,
I know someone who's
one
training
of
to be a
the-
blacksmith.
One of the expansions down the road too is like once it does start getting more successful and all that, you could look at getting staff on and everything too, where if you're gonna do a dungeon, then like the orcs and ogres or whatever they have to defeat in the dungeon are your actual staff that are like staff.
I'm in charge of the orc regiment. I'll come out there. I'll work there. I'll live at the fucking in the bar. Okay, I'll
There
like
you
live in the
go, you wouldn't
tavern.
even-
I will be in
you'd-
charge of
you'd
the
have a
orcs.
great
Okay,
defen-
but
you'd have
well,
a
then
great security
Honestly,
chief right there.
this is actually getting me excited that I would actually drive down there and do this live thing. Like, I'm
There we
actually
go,
getting
okay.
excited about all this.
Oh my god. Okay. We'll make Pando chubby.
And the best part is for like the D&D lore, I only have one eye that I can
Oh,
actually
what do you
see
think
out
on
of,
this?
so we can pluck my bad eye out, just like the gods made the orcs do in D&D. So I don't remember the name of that god, but he's like the one god that all the orcs worship. So yeah, I could totally just like lose my bad eye. I mean, I don't need it anyway. I get really dedicated. Like, you know, we can just pop it out with like a
Get the
grapefruit
fake
spoon or
blood and
something.
everything. You're like, ah,
Fake?
Fake, it'll
No.
be real blood. Just poke it out.
I'm talking about actually plucking my eyeball out. I don't need it anymore. I can't see out of it. It doesn't work. So no, we don't need it to be
patch
fake.
over top of it and calling it good.
Yeah, exactly. And like whenever like I lift it up to scare like the little kids at Christmas time, I'd be like, I'm a bad orc, you know, look at that, yeah, I worship the whatever god that I don't remember what the hell that god was called, but it was the god of the
God, I
orcs.
can't
Or
believe I'm
well,
going with this idea.
he really wasn't the god of the orcs, but the orcs worshipped him. He was one of the war gods.
There is one
Pirate would
person
be
from
so
Dynasty
sad if he
Warriors,
heard
the
that
whole
you
Three
say
Kingdom
that
stuff, where one
wrong.
of their generals actually did that. Took an arrow to the eye, pulled it out, and ate the eye in front of the soldiers that shot him.
Who did that?
I can't remember the name of the fucking general.
No, I mean what, like in real life, or
Yeah, it was during the whole Three Kingdoms shit, like the actual Three Kingdoms, not the whole fucking glorified stories, games and shit, the actual one.
well, I
Where
didn't
they
want it to
write
go
the
to
stories around
waste.
them.
There's a lot of nutrition in the eye.
Like, he got
you
shot in the
can-
eye with an arrow, pulled it out, and just ate
Guys,
the eye in
I
front
am
of the
expecting
soldiers.
I am
anything.
calling it death. I think there's something up with the game with the Pokemon game tonight.
Yeah.
Go on Ares' stream and try it on his. I saw Clocks catch
I
something
think,
on his
I
earlier.
think, yeah, and you could have so many different events too. Like there's D&D, but then there's also like there's other ones too. Like there's the whole Gamma World. There's the futuristic ones, so you could have like these like Nerf guns that kind of look futuristic, and it shoots out the Nerf balls and like.
That
Fair
would be
enough.
difficult. That would be more difficult than the fantasy idea.
Another
Well,
one
it
that
is
you could
still
do is
fantasy,
like
just more
when you expand into other fields, use that other field for a different theme, and if every once in a while have a crossover between the two.
Oh, I don't. It's not working because I don't have it going just yet.
Is it real?
Yeah, because I didn't start it yet.
Unless you're doing like some kind of an intergalactic thing and you get this would have to be way later on in your business. Each parcel of land that you have sectioned off, you would actually have to fucking terraform. Like turn it into a fucking desert planet or like a wasteland planet like
Yeah,
Mars.
that's what I mean. Like down the line, because like
But
you look at these giant paintball places. Basically, you're doing the same thing as like a big paintball or airsoft.
that's what I
thing.
told her.
Yeah,
It
so,
is. It's
like
just like paintball,
Yeah,
except for
that's exactly how he explained it to me.
so yeah, you just have different sections that are set up for different areas or different arenas and different like whatever, right?
I mean, hell, I don't know if this.
Bolster, then you can just turn it into an airsoft arena.
I don't know if this has ever been done, but you know, instead of like paintball guns, you know, maybe you can create a whole new meta like paintball sword like things, like where you know you hit somebody with it or whatever, it marks them with a certain color to indicate that they've been hit.
That is doable because they do it with fake
Oh
blood.
yeah, you can get the swords that
Like,
like
I don't
have
know.
paint on them, and then when you hit somebody with your sword, it like it's like a chalk paint or whatever, so you
Yeah.
can see the red line on them that they have been hit.
Oh, it's like that shit in that one Kesha music video, like
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that shit. She was like slinging it around. It was like sticking at people. Looked really fucking cool. I don't think that was paint. That was like some kind of dust or sand or something. I think, but it was
I
really
don't know.
cool.
It's Kesha. It really could have been anything. She literally wore a necklace of one of her fans made a necklace of his teeth and gave it to her, and she wore that when she played on a thing. So I don't know.
Like another
No,
crossover you
this
could
was
do
just
is like having one field for like a mill sim or something, and then just different themes for different fields, and just have an event but don't say anything, and just have like a little gateway in the fence that crosses over between the two sections, and just not tell anyone.
I feel like the first parcel of land that you buy or whatever is going to be your starting, and then when you get a second parcel, the first one you can start developing and putting that like blacksmith area and literally start creating like an old style medieval town on that first parcel of land, and you're developing that land as it goes. So then
Basically a world hub.
Yeah, so then people like when they're on the second or third parcel of land, they're like camping out there and they're doing their LARPing, and then if they need anything, they have to come into town and go to the tavern and all. Like, man, I'm actually getting really excited about this. I really want to like.
and you can
I-
also hire Clocks to be the leader of the dwarves.
I thought she was leader of the swamp people.
I thought she was just really short. Is she not short?
Can there be a variety of swamp people that are just dwarves? Like dwarvish swamp people?
No, we'll make her leader of the gnomes. Yeah, because
paying attention.
she's not broad enough to be a dwarf. She'd have to be a gnome, like a little gangly, skinny thing. About 3.5 feet tall. Or 4 feet tall, however tall she is.
Just an entire race of golems?
Nah, you'd be a better golem, you're taller.
Yeah. Yeah, she really isn't paying attention.
Nope, she's oh my god, her and Red One are in General 1. So when we're done with podcast, we gotta make sure to go in and bug them.
Yes, let's go assault them.
Oh.
Because Red One, isn't that the one where we started
Yep.
talking?
Yes, we assaulted him before.
We assaulted his ears. Poor guy.
Well, since we did get into the hyperactive mood for it, a few days ago, I've partially mentioned it in passing, but I didn't say specifics, so I definitely know what I was talking about. Clocks reminded me of this thing that was going around what we call secondary school. It's when you're 13, 18-year-olds, that school that you go into for that one. There was this whole rumour going around that if you finger a girl and she sneezes, it will break your fingers.
I want to
my
fuck
goodness.
a chick with a pussy that tight. I'll go in. I'll
Because
fucking
the
do it.
clench on that, like, gotta work on those
Okay.
kegels a little bit.
Well, there is the medical issue where a woman's muscles down there are clamped so tightly, but that is a very, very rare medical issue.
I spaced out when we were talking about.
Yeah,
the
I
whole
thought we were still
baseball
talking
thing.
about
Let's-
LARPing.
can I come back?
I want to take that girl for a ride. Where is this girl? I need to find her. I'll take her for a ride. I'll let y'all know what happens.
All of a sudden, Raw comes back and he broke his
We
dick.
just never hear from him again. Like,
Even if I did break my dick, I would come in wearing a dick cast, like looks like a big diaper. I'd walk
so that's
in,
what-
I'd sit down, and I'd be like, guys,
He goes to the LARPing
was
arena
fucking
with
worth
a big
it.
diaper on.
It's like, oh, so that's why those sisters were called Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
yeah. I rode the mountain boys and it was worth it, but I wouldn't recommend it
my
to anyone else.
special one that like has the dunce hat in the corner of the tavern, and we're like, yeah, we don't just like.
You don't take advice from him.
You see that guy sitting over there? He's got some fucking stories, but don't take any advice he gives you.
Yeah, yeah.
If he tries to talk you, run.
Just run, don't
See,
listen.
And one thing about like this LARPing arena that no one could, it'd be very difficult for someone else to enter to become a competitor.
What's that?
It'd be hard for to have any real competitors.
Well, that's good, because then you can drive the price up higher.
Yeah.
No, it's good for you, but bad for everybody else.
But the other downside to that is having a competitor basically forces innovation.
Yes.
Exactly.
The thing is,
But I think we have enough
don't-
innovation in this one little chat, though.
I don't think that you would have to worry too much because it always just takes one person to start it and start earning money, and then
Yeah.
everyone
True.
is going to be like, "Oh, I can make money doing this." So I get what you're more worried on. You're worried that you might become a monopoly, which is illegal.
Well, no, I'm not worried about becoming a monopoly. The only way to really become a monopoly is if I stop others from joining into the market.
Yeah, or buying out
And-
other companies.
There is another revenue of making money, putting a restriction on mobile phones and just having photo booths around the place.
Yes.
That
No,
would be
n-
really hard,
Well,
but
and that would actually be have an area that's specific for in the actual arena. You can't have your phone, but
Oh yeah,
phones are
no,
left
like make it
outside of the arena. One, because then they don't get broke, so I don't have to worry about that nonsense.
yeah.
And then they're forced to use any sort of photos or pay for our people who are taking photos or some shit like that.
You're also not going to have someone answering a phone call right in the middle of the field to ruin the immersion.
And it's
Yes.
not just that, and it's becoming more and more common. Crime is becoming a trending thing on shit like TikTok. Like, it is
Mhm.
becoming a trend.
They're they're happily showing what they're doing, like that English one, Mizzy, literally walked into people's homes.
yeah, I heard. I heard about that guy. Somebody said, "I'd like to see him try that prank in America," and somebody was like, "No, there wouldn't be a prank. He would just be dead if he tried that in America.
Yes.
If he walked into
The
some
prank would just
American
die."
family's home with the dad out front, the kids in the house, and the mom in the house, he'd be dead.
Yeah,
But it's not
he's going
just
to be
that, it's
carried out on a
there are
stretcher.
people organising group
That's
events to
fake
go
money,
robbing
though.
entire stores
Yeah, I
and
heard about that.
vandalising
Yeah, that's
places.
because isn't there like a certain state where it has to be over like $950 for it to be like
No,
a
it's just
crime
these
or
people are
something?
that stupid.
It's
There's
not.
the
It's
$1,000.
because the stores have these policy of somebody's robbing you, don't interfere.
Yeah, you don't
Right.
like
Yeah.
you can't stop them. Even the security
Yeah,
guards
that's
can't
why
do.
they have insurance and stuff to cover
But the
type of
difference,
robberies.
I think, what you're talking about, Wolf, is the misdemeanor to felony thing. It's where if
I
you
think
steal
so.
something under $1,000, it's a misdemeanor. But if you steal something over $1,000, it's a felony.
Because I think it was a mix of both, where there was a law change where like if you steal under a certain amount, it's not it's a misdemeanor or whatnot.
Yeah,
And then on top of that, the employee, like the people working there, can't do crap if you try to take stuff because the company would rather just turn it into their insurance than have an employee get hurt.
It's not
and
just that they will actively fire people who interfere with it.
yeah. There was a
Yeah.
guy who actually walked out into a parking lot to film these people that were like stealing a TV. He walked out into the parking lot with his phone to film their license plate, and he actually got fired for it. Like,
Whereas
because
I'm
he
on the other side
pursued
of it,
them.
where I would be more than happy to break their fucking arms for doing it. But they're not going to rob the place if they know there's going to be a consequence to it.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
problem.
and
Or if you
that-
just
And
like keep
also,
a
that's
this-
the
paintball gun behind
American
the
there's
truck.
dream.
there's this idea that the people on TikTok think is that because they're robbing from big stores, it's not hurting anybody.
Aside
Yeah,
from
they
the
don't think
people
about the
working there.
prices getting drove up for the products that they steal that
Or
the
like
other people have to buy.
or actually,
Not to
did
mention
you
they're
know that
traumatizing the people working in the fucking places.
Walmart's actually closed down multiple stores because of all the stuff being stolen out of them.
I believe it.
Like multiple of those super
I mean,
centers
those
being
companies are
closed
going to
down
get their money.
in different states. And
But like you don't really need to worry about people stealing because like what do you have there to steal? There's nothing at your place to steal.
What you would have to, the only thing you'd have to worry about is what that would be. I would honestly say is you'd have a building set up with like a locker system that you could then rent out to people, so they could put their valuables in, like their phones, their
And they got to bring
purses.
their own lock, though.
Or you can have one where, like, at the
The
So
issue with that
very-
is, though, have you seen how easy it is to pick a fucking lock?
Well, just don't
And-
use a master lock.
well, that's
Even
why
not even just master lock, even the fucking locks that are used on the fucking gun safes. I could pick most of them open in a few seconds,
oh,
and I've never
And
touched
also
them.
the electrical
Ares,
locks as
it's
well.
not so much about.
Yeah.
It's quite simple. It's not that Death would have to make it to where no one could steal. She just has to provide the safety of it. If the locks are pickable, the locks are pickable. There's only so much she can do.
Yeah.
But the insurance
that's-
companies want you to at least provide the safety.
Well, that's also would be in your paperwork that you'd have them all sign and everything, saying that
Yeah.
I'm not responsible for any like if you're using a locker system, that's fine. I provide that for you, but I'm not responsible for
And
anything.
put up
any locks or-
signs like no role playing as like a drow thief or something. You know, that way people aren't fucking. Yeah, that maybe that'll help.
We'll just have lockers where if people try to use anything other than the key designated to that locker, then they get electrocuted.
Oh yeah.
All about
actually,
electrocuting
Ares, you
today.
can't cause that.
You can
much
say it was a
harm.
thunder spell.
Yeah, fucking Ares came in and used Thunderwave. Stop there, evildoer.
I just started shaking my ass cheeks and started using thunderclap.
Oh my god.
Chain lightning.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I'm gonna catch a Pokemon on Aries stream.
Fuck's a
Something
dreadnought.
on Death's stream is just something
She's
about the game
broken.
on Death's stream is broken.
Yeah, the fact that we
Ooh,
haven't
this one
caught
looks
anything.
cool. It's like a giant turtle thing.
I'm also not using any of the Pokeballs.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
can catch thing on Ares.
Yep.
Oh yay!
I didn't catch it, but Dragon
Death,
injected.
you broke it.
Yep.
Oh, it's
mine's
only level
broken,
2.
guys.
Yeah, but
Don't use
Death-
it.
You broke everyone's balls, Death.
It's not using your balls at least. You
Oh,
still
Yeah.
have
I got
balls.
level 9.
I got level 2.
Okay. So now what barriers are there to market entry? And I'm thinking land
Money.
maintenance, weather, and advertising are gonna be my main ones.
Nah, the druids, they
Taxes.
love their lightning magic. It'll be fine.
Weather's not an issue outside of storm seasons.
Well, because winter in Michigan lasts between November to about March.
Honestly, like spring would really suck just because it's all muddy and
Muddy.
rainy. And I feel like people would rather be in like the snow than in like the mud and
muck.
rain.
No. So I'd have to, and again, that would be on land maintenance, trying to find a piece of land that's not going to be waterlogged.
Yeah, well, but that's all like
Just fight in a
Har-
swamp. It's fine.
that's all part of your like big startup. Like you would have to find that piece of land. Like
And that's
Yeah,
why you
that's
hire
I'm saying
people to make
that's a
drainage.
barrier. hmm Which, if I actually buy a piece of farmland, since this is a big farming area, a lot of farmers have tiles and all that
Yeah,
drainage
it's
underneath it anyway.
the most you'd have to do is just work at making sure it's that they're maintained, but that's you're not with what you're dealing with would not be quite as intense as what farmers have to deal with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for you,
I
it'd
gotta head
mostly
off
be
for the night.
drainage and
Good luck
some
with
partial land
Well,
flattening.
thingy in the next hour.
Yeah, that. Oh yeah. Yeah, this has to be turned in an hour, but I will be going over this idea probably for the next
35 minutes.
See ya.
Bye.
Later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Can me and Ian have some salt and vinegar chips? It's the last day.
I
As long as you leave some for me.
keep jumping.
Eat
right
them
in.
all.
Okay.
Plus, with
now
the
I have to look up
security,
the expected
an
earnings
easy
for
way to
revenue.
deal with that with the personnel is to have them blend in as part of the LARPers. That way, nobody knows who the security is, so they don't know if they're being watched or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think she'd have to have them have some like there'd have to be something about
Yeah,
them
they have to be
that's
identifiable. I think.
slightly that would be visible, but they could still
That's
be
easy.
dressed up.
Just put like a crest on their armor.
That's what I
or
was
Yeah, a
gonna
little
say. Is
band
something.
they'd
or
have
something.
to wear
No, not a
a
band, like a
crest.
crest.
They'd have
But
to
like,
wear
Yeah,
a
like
crest or something.
all your staff members, so the security and whoever else down the line you get to staff, they're part of your guild or something, and they'd have to wear a certain crest on
The
their
Death
armor
Guild.
or on something. Yeah, like
yeah, get
Right, they'd have to
like
wear
a Grim Reaper with a raven sitting on the scythe or something as your crest.
Yeah, see,
It
I
would have
wouldn't do
to.
that.
I
I'd be
would say
having
more.
people
It
in
would
each
have
of
to
the
be a
guilds keeping an eye on them.
It would have to be a Grim Reaper with a cat.
Yeah,
Since she
you
is
guys,
Deathkitten.
you guys haven't seen. Well, a couple of you have seen my little death kitty.
Yeah, I've seen your nipples.
No, you have not seen my nipples, Rog. Don't put that out there.
I don't know. Something was blinding me. I don't know. That's why I can't
No.
see anymore.
It was like
Oh
I said, she's
yes.
trying to raise her property value.
I
Disco
was watching your
tits.
I was
No.
watching your
Oh
stream
my
one
God,
day, and
guys.
I
Yeah,
was
that could be
watching
your
your
product. Disco,
stream.
disco tits. Much easier.
No, because that's not a new product. That product has been offered by many different people out there.
No,
Yeah.
it's glitter. It's been accessories. I've been saying full on disco ball tits.
He means gluing on little mirrors all over your tits.
You know, I'm good.
Why not?
No,
Be good for
That
disco.
would
self-reflection.
hurt.
That would hurt so much.
Well, you got to use the special kind of glue.
No.
Gorilla.
Oh dear lord.
Yeah,
No.
Gorilla
Like
Glue
that
Girl.
one lady.
A lot of
What
people
did
don't
that
seem to
woman?
understand there is hair on those parts of
She
us.
Oh
And
my
glue
every time
It'll
we
grow
Gorilla.
use
back.
glue,
Well, there won't be after the fucking wax that you're about to get.
hey, well, I have to step out, but if you have any other questions, feel free to message me and all that. I'm more than happy to help. I'm actually getting really excited about this, and hopefully it does
He's
become
like, when are we gonna start this? When are we?
Yeah,
Let's go
I'd
for
be
funding
down for like
tomorrow.
yeah, I'd be down like partnership. Let's go. Like I want to build this now too. Like
He's gonna
anyways.
be out in a
suspects
field, just.
LARPing arena host.
Oh my God! There we go. There we even have a name. Join our Discord. We have a LARPing events.
Oh god, poor Clocks would just start crying if
Oh my
LARPing got
God.
Alright.
involved.
She would be like, I'm no longer an owner. I'm
Talk
not
to you
part of
later.
the Bye,
Well, I mean,
sweetie.
if she starts
Bye.
crying out, just make it easier. Shove her in a tower and she can be the damsel in distress.
Oh god. She finds a Princess Peach dress waiting for her and everything.
Oh my God.
Wait, what?
Oh, that'd be funny.
Why?
Okay. Now I have to look up expected earnings and revenue of the new venture for year 1 through year 5. Oh my God.
The longer it runs, the more money you'll make
Yeah, first I have to look up like
per year.
cost of 5 acres of land in Michigan. Because we don't want to go too far north, I don't think. Oh, look, there's a house on 5 acres. 3 beds, 2 baths, 370. That's not bad. Where's Williamsburg? That's
This is
expensive.
what?
Williamsburg. Do, 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 do. I don't want houses. Stop. No, no. Okay, where's my fucking property types? Undeveloped. No water. That increases insurance. Undeveloped or farm, that works. Yeah. Black filters. You guys can keep talking. I'm just gonna look at.
Oh, I
at
thought you
this
were.
stuff. Nope.
Okay. Well, Ares, what's new in your world? Anything fun?
Well, I mean, we live in the same world, so it'd be the same, whatever's the same as new in yours as well.
It's
So
dark
probably
at your
nothing.
house too.
If I turn the light off, yeah.
Too bad
Wow.
Kyra's not here. We could have asked him if he had a hurricane party yesterday.
Oh, actually, yeah, it reminded me. Baldur's Gate 3. People saying about how great it is, how much shit you can do on it. I have found one massive fucking flaw with that game, aside from the stealth mechanics.
Yeah,
That it will not let you
can't
do.
sell the dead body to the woman. Yes, so which I don't know why anybody would think of that.
No, like, I had
But
the mission where I was going to some fucking tower and I took the underground route. I found a side mission to go find this woman's husband who was off picking mushrooms. Apparently the guy was a complete dick. I was like, you know what, fuck it, it's just down the path, I'll go and do it. Go down there, I found a field full of explosive toxic mushrooms. I may or may not have blown them up. Circumstantially speaking. No witnesses. Found his body. I went to his body, interacted with it, looted it, because I figured I usually have to interact with the body for the fucking marker to say that you found it. Marker hadn't said that I found it, so I picked it up. Marker still said I hadn't fucking found it, so I just assumed, okay, game's bugged, I'll just take the body back with me. So I went back up to her. I found your husband. Okay, fuck him. That was the end of the mission. So then I went into the trader menu and tried to sell the body back to her. Wouldn't let me.
Oh my god. I'm still waiting for one of you to turn into a piece of cheese because you pissed off a wizard.
I will kill that wizard.
How? You'll be a piece of cheese.
You
Well,
can't
then
turn me into
somebody
cheese, I'm
else.
lactose intolerant.
Have you seen the fight between Vegito and Boo? He got turned to a piece of candy and still kicked Boo's ass.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like give him indigestion or something?
Oh, he just flew into him really hard.
Oh.
Literally, one of the characters that turned into candy and kicked the character that turned him into Candy's ass.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z went really crazy.
Oh, I'm guessing you haven't seen Super then.
Oh, I don't touch it anymore. I stopped watching it after Gohan went and turned into Saiyaman.
Why, that was the best part.
That was
No,
kind of
it
lame.
wasn't.
That one was
That was
kind of irritating.
so stupid and annoying that he had to hide that he had to hide, and it was even more of a lame disguise than Superman. At least Superman looked cool.
Look, see, the
Yeah,
thing
I
that
like the
irritated me
outfit.
was the Saiyans can move faster than fucking the speed of sound. They can move to the point where no one can keep track of them other than the people who are on their level. If he was supposed to be stronger than Goku, he should have been able to move fucking faster than that, meaning the disguise itself was redundant.
And also, thus meaning his mom should not have been able to see what he was doing.
Yeah.
Or birth him.
You forget his mom is the strongest woman in the world.
Yes, but even
Uh,
she's the strongest human woman in the world. She is not on par with the Saiyans.
There is no
She's
Saiyan
like,
woman in the world yet, so yeah, she is the strongest woman in the world.
and even then, she's not even on par with
Actually, no,
fucking
you're
pervy
wrong.
old grandpa game. I
Actually, you're
forgot what his
wrong.
name is.
There is a Saiyan woman. It's Vegeta's daughter.
She's not born yet.
And there is Khalifa.
Who's Khalifa?
When they
Oh, yeah,
decided to
they're
have their battle
She's in
royale.
she's in
Doesn't
another
matter.
dimension.
Doesn't matter. Still the same woman.
right.
And
It's
when they're
just
having the episode, they're all in the same dimension.
and it's more. Let me explain one other thing. They do have they have the strong humans of the world, like technically Hercule is actually the strongest human.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna
Krillin
say,
and
wasn't
Because
there
he's able to tear apart the damn
the phone
phone
book?
book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
phone book.
you forget
But
Krillin's
even
human.
yes,
So
but
why
Also,
can't he fly?
did they ever actually say she was the strongest woman or the strongest fighter? Because those are two different things.
well, she also after marrying Goku kind of stopped fighting.
Yeah,
So
she went full onto the
Who,
housewife thing.
Chi-Chi?
Yeah,
yeah, Chi-Chi. The only bit of fighting she ever did was the punishment, and if you go by certain things,
The punishment.
punishment in bedroom with Goku.
well, she did train Goten.
True, but it's just she's
I
not.
think we're boring death. I think we're boring death.
No,
Oh,
I'm working
she's
on my homework.
waiting.
She's working
Oh,
on her
okay.
homework, so we need to fill in
Not to
the
mention, they were
airtime.
training Goten while Goten was massively, massively holding back.
Yes.
And he went Super Saiyan
Then
under
it
her
was Gold
tutelage.
Trunks because of
It's
the
really,
earrings.
I will say this much, it's really weird that
He went Super Saiyan because they needed someone to surpass Goku and they fucked up Gohan.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest, it's really weird how the more they went in half-breeds, the stronger those half-breeds got. It was a little weird.
I think it's a genetic thing because Goku obviously had to have been a Super Saiyan when he conceived Goten, so that's probably why Goten transformed so easily.
Wait, he went Super Saiyan to ejaculate into Bulma and came out with
Not Bulma.
Chi-Chi.
or
We
Chi-Chi.
don't need
Who,
that. We don't
Because
need to start.
remember,
whatever,
he was
same
like
thing.
permanently a Super Saiyan during the time of the conception. So yeah,
Yeah,
God
saying that
damn.
is like walking into a Star Trek convention and saying, "May the Force be with you."
Right.
Oh well, whatever. It's close
Well, no,
enough. You
what
know
it
what I
is
meant.
that a lot of people will admit that between the relationships of Goku and Vegeta, as in Goku and Chi-Chi, and Vegeta and Bulma's relationship's actually the healthiest, non-abusive relationship.
I didn't
yeah.
realize Chi-Chi and Goku's was so abusive, but okay.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, she hits him a lot.
She hits him a
Well, yeah,
lot.
but
She's super controlling.
that's just how women are. That's how they show their love is by hitting you. You know they want to
Oh,
be with you and like they're
that's
interested
not
in
what
you.
I do. What the?
If they're
No,
passionate enough to beat you, that means that they're a very passionate person and that they love you.
Or
That's
they're
what I've
Russian.
learned throughout dating. They're just really passionate. They're not mean. They love you and they're showing their passion by beating you.
Ugh.
So obviously they have the strongest relationship.
Yeah, it's mutual fisting.
Oh God.
Well, I don't know what they get up to in the bedroom, but yeah, maybe. But yeah, sexy. I don't. Well, and
Yeah, I'm thinking something about Death's stream is broken with the Pokemon catching.
Yep.
Damn it, Death is my job to break shit.
My bad.
Pokey Death.
Because now a second Pokemon's come up, and myself and Ares caught the second Pokemon.
I didn't though.
Well,
Maybe you
there's always
guys
going to be
have
some
really bad
people who
luck.
don't catch it, but that's literally every Pokemon that showed up on her stream, no one caught.
I didn't realize
Also,
Death liked Pokemon.
considering one Pokemon showed up and two of us caught it, does that mean we split it in half?
Yes.
I have no idea
Or
on
well,
that.
cut it in half. Yes.
Which
We're
also
not going
bugged the shit out of me with Pokemon. They say that the whole thing with it is that they digitize the Pokemon to put them into the balls, which means that they become data. Why can I not just copy and paste that data to make another one?
No, they
You used to
retconned
be
that in
able
the
to.
Arceus Legends game.
Yeah,
Is that the newest one?
Well, not newest, but it's still pretty new.
It's, I think, the second newest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Violet and
Which,
or
by the way,
whatever.
can I say that those things that people ride in that game are disturbing in the Scarlet and
Yeah.
Violet, those weird motorcycle dragon things?
They're
Yeah, I
Pokemon, aren't
didn't
they?
really like them. Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
they
they're
are.
Pokemon, but it's a little disturbing to see these things that will they have legs, they also have wheels in their chests, and they can fold their legs up, and you can ride them like a motorcycle. It's a little disturbing watching people play on those. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
I
weird.
don't know. It sounds like
How do
Pokemon
they
designer babies.
Yeah, how did they get like evolve into that? Like
I
Pokemon
don't
designer babies.
know.
Genetics.
Or legendaries.
All I know is that just the more I watch of people playing the Scarlet and Violet, the more I'm like, I am so disturbed by those motorcycle dragons.
I
Those
gave
are
up on it when they started turning Pokemon from fucking keys and garbage bags.
yeah,
That was
I
around the
personally
same time
still
that they
love
gave up on
Pokemon. I
it.
just don't play the games anymore, unless they're fan made games.
Trubbish.
The last game I was playing, which I will be of all honesty, it was not legally being played by me because, well, at the time my ex, one of my exes, he was into torrenting a lot of games, and so. But the last one I played was Pokemon Y.
I didn't like the
Why
X and
not?
Y's.
Well,
I
I would
had
have
X and
preferred
Y.
X because I liked the look of the blue deer better, but he was like, no, I want the deer. Here you have the weird red bird thing.
The weird bread bird
Which then
thing.
he got very pissed about because his favorite Pokemon was Espeon. So the weird Scottish fold Pokemon, the cat one.
Yep.
The
Yep.
first one I caught in playing that game was a shiny, and he was so pissed that I got that. He
Oh.
kept trying desperately to get me to trade it to him. I was like, "No, I like it. I caught it. I'm proud of it." He got
Well, too
so
bad he didn't go
butthurt.
with that one.
He then proceeded to challenge me to a battle because while we could not, because of them being torrented, we couldn't go online without getting our systems blocked from being able to be online. We were able to battle in person. And so he battled me, and then he got even more butthurt because I
Because you
had a
won.
Oh, I won. I beat his ass because I had a Rosarig that had leech seed, and I had another thing that did also another life drain, and I basically just used those moves and wiped out his entire team. He got so pissed. He's like, you can't do that in official battles. I'm like, this wasn't an official battle.
This isn't even an official game.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, you should have been thinking of official battles, whatever you fucking stole this shit. Like,
Yeah. That was pretty much it. It's like, I don't care. We're just playing, and you never said we couldn't do certain things. And this is the team I like, and this is the team that's been working with me fighting through this thing very well. He got so pissed. Proceeded to never want to play me again.
Don't
And
think
just
I ever
kept
found a shiny in
cowering.
those games.
I found a shiny Lickitung one time.
I mean, I've got a few on
was
Pokemon
cool.
Go, but they kind of fucking ruined it because you pretty much get one a day on that.
I'm gonna be honest. With what they're doing now, where you have all these different things, it's like you have shinies, you have giants, you have this, you have that. What is the point? Why are there so many weird mutations? What the hell is going
Oh
on in
no,
the
the
Pokemon
giants only
world?
work in is only temporary. It only works in one region.
Oh, I know. I'm also like, I was just one example. It's like the Dunsparce, where you evolve it, you have a small chance of it being 3 segments rather than 2, and so on and so forth.
Oh.
I was just using the giants because I've been hearing a lot about those too, and I'm just like, what? Literally, you've got the games don't even have all the Pokemon anymore.
Nope.
And because they keep adding so many Pokemon, and now they're adding in regional variants of Pokemon, which they don't even have those. regional variants don't even seem to have set rules with the newest one release. Okay. I don't remember when they were released, but there's Diglett and Dud Trio, and then there's these convergent evolution ones, which are aren't related at all. They're connected to the eels that stick their heads out of the sand in the water. Ribbon eels, I think they're called.
Yep.
Is this the thing like with the Executor, like where it's the original one and now they've got one where it's just this fucking giraffe neck abomination thing?
No, those are regional variants that can only be gotten in the games they're released in. There's now also convergent evolution where Pokemon that are not actually them will evolve to be like the original one. So there is Diglets and Wiglets now. Diglets are the mole Pokemon. Wiglets are these eel Pokemon that look like it, and then they evolve into three, being called Wig Trio or something. And there's also
That
a
just sounds like
mushroom,
such a racial term.
and then there's also a mushroom that has evolved to be like the Tentacruel line. And now in Arceus, I think they have with the new DLC coming out, they're going to be releasing a new convergent evolution that's not even following the the rules of the first two convergent evolutions. It's called it's basically the Japanese version of the teapot Pokemon, the ghost. And the problem is that with the other two, yes, they looked like it, but they did not share any of the typing from from the original forms of them. This one shares the same typing as Poltergeist.
Well, you got to remember in Arceus, it's like thousands of years in the past, so all those variants are like extinct in the main games.
Oh, I know. It's more. They're not even following their own rules. Is the problem?
Wait, so you're saying Arceus retconned the whole Pokeballs digitized in Pokemon when it's set 1,000 years into the past, so they didn't fucking retcon it, they're just saying it hasn't happened yet.
No. See, the Pokeballs in Arceus are plant based, and apparently the Pokeball just have the natural ability to shrink. And the
That's fucking dumb.
And the Pokeballs capitalize on that and actually forces them to shrink down to fit into the Pokeball.
That is fucking stupid. Then why don't any of them shrink when they're trying to run away from a fight?
It's apparently there's a special stone inside the Pokeballs that causes it, so they don't shrink on their own. They have the natural ability to shrink, but they can't do it on their own. It takes the stone to do it.
See, this just screams we're making shit up as we go along.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what I was
That
saying.
is what I do most of my life.
That's what I was saying with the whole.
And I don't get paid for it.
Dynasty and Poltergeist and all this stuff where they don't have really any set rules. They just are like, let's do this, let's do that.
Or they could just make a game like Pokemon and have it an official game where it's just got every single fucking region and the Pokemon that are supposed to be in that region stay in that fucking region.
Yeah.
Yep.
But how are you going to make up new variants?
I'm sure they'd have some crossbreeding mechanic going on, like with the fucking LV levels and shit.
Well, I mean, I understand how some Pokemon will go to different regions. Like Pidgeys are probably being everywhere. Yeah, any of the bird types.
But they need to make money by creating.
Plus, fucking Team Rocket or whatever they're being called now. They'll be importing Pokemon over across the different regions.
Oh, those aren't just so you know, Ares. Those aren't the same thing. They are every team is its own criminal organization.
They're the same fucking thing, just rebranded.
Not really. They all have different motives. Like Team Rocket was literally just make money. They were actually a criminal organization. The other ones afterwards are like eco-terrorists and stuff like that.
Yeah, or well, I will say there was the Skull Kids or whatever they were called. They were also
they were also muddle makers. Yeah,
they were a criminal organization.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally just a gang.
Yeah. And Team Galactic is pretty much a death cult.
Yep.
Their rebrands are the same shit based on what current events are.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
I'll
which
agree
game?
with
cheap,
that.
easy way
Which
to
game?
make money.
Which game had the DLC where it's like all the teams came together?
I don't know.
I remember there was one game that had a DLC that the storyline of it was all the teams came together and tried to conquer the world and stuff like that.
Well, did it
Which is
work?
ironic because the one thing they didn't have was Team Spirit.
Okay, guys, it is getting to be that time. We are at 3 hours and 7 minutes. So.
Oh, that's well timed because Mofa's playing Fortnite.
Oh, he's playing Fortnite?
Yep, Mofas.
Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
I knew we were gonna lose him as soon as you said it.
Yep.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us and joining a lot of our random shit. Sorry about if you joined for Pokemon and just waste your time hitting Pokecatch. At least you didn't waste your
But you
Pokeball.
did get to listen to Dragon.
I don't know
and
because
Jack
I had
talk
no problem
about
catching him on
Pokemon.
my stream. Haha.
Hey, I pushed him over. Dragon went.
So did Jack.
Yep.
Still no idea what the fuck I'm supposed to do with him though.
You can make a
You
team and
pet
battle
'em.
them.
Yeah. you
But
can
they're level
actually
1.
fight
How
'em.
the fuck am I supposed to fight anything with that?
Battle 'em on easy.
You kind of have to. You kind of actually have to fight them to level them up.
Yep.
So they
Or
still get leveled
wait.
even if they get their asses beaten.
Yes. They still get experience points even when their ass is kicked.
But they're not Saiyans!
Yeah, you know.
And also, not all of them will be level 1. Like, I have I have one that's level 14, 2 that are level 13, 1 level 10, 2 level 9s. Only have 2 level 1s.
But anyway,
If his page
you
has
guys
stopped
all have a good
breaking.
night. We will see you next week. If you actually like watching my gaming content, I am going to host or have a birthday stream on Monday on Labor Day. So, and that will probably start about mid-afternoon with a special game of Goose Goose Duck in the evening. So if you're looking at wanting to join that Goose Goose Duck match, please let me know or join our server. That will be in my chat in just a moment.
Ah, Buzz didn't see our Bark was there. I like that one.
It got away.
But you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you
Good
later.
night, everyone.
Good night.
What they said.